Phillips with the Conservative Cartel. You know, everyone lives with a little bit of pain, but living with diabetes can be a real pain. While you may have to test your blood sugar and take insulin, ordering your testing supplies shouldn't be one more pain you have to deal with. At least it's not when you work with Diathrive. Diathrive ships the testing supplies you need directly to your home when you need them. Gone are the days of visiting multiple stores to find the right strips, waiting in long lines to purchase your supplies, or sorting through your insurance requirements to figure out what they cover. Best of all, with plans starting as low as $8 a month, Diathrive is probably going to cost you less than what you're paying today. Diathrive saves you time and money. Plus, they're pretty fun to work with, too. So why don't you give Diathrive a chance to show you there's a better way to manage your diabetes? They're so convinced that you'll love their service that they're offering your first month of supplies free. Simply type the code MATT, that's M-A-T-T, at checkout. Be sure to head out to the web right now and check these guys out. It's Diathrive.com.
MoJo 50. The question isn't who's going to let us. The question is who's going to stop us. Adjust your mojo now. Thank you. The mothership has landed. Doc Thompson. Brad Staggs. The mighty MoJo 50.
I think I may have finally crossed over into old territory.
What?
I know, right? It's crazy, but this is Emma Stone on Saturday Night Live.
Before we get started, I just wanted to test the sound levels. So, BTS is here.
And I'm like, who?
Who the hell is BTS?
Who's BTS? Not only have I mean, usually it's, some act. Oh, yeah, it's rap, whatever. BTS is a Korean boy band. There you go. That's apparently the top of the charts these days. K-pop. That, and now I go to sleep and I have to sleep in a certain position because my neck hurts. Luckily for me, I found some sort of blue emu ointment in Doc Thompson's car. So
that video you showed me this morning.
So now I smell like an old person too. Yeah. So we cleaned out the Doc Thompson skateboard over the weekend, and I've got the video. We've got to kind of shrink it down a little bit, edit it, and we'll put it out there.
It took you 13 minutes.
Yes.
To empty.
Just to empty, yeah.
Just to empty it.
Yeah, not to vacuum it, not to do any of that, just to empty the car of its contents, which were varied and strange. I'll just leave it there. And but I think it was Angry Beaver said, I thought you were going to show us I'm going to show you, but we have to edit it down. So, and now Raider has the car and he's detailing it. So I hope he got a tetanus shot.
Go Raider.
Yeah. He came and got it in the morning. And then he sent me a text last night. He says, I have a new respect for Doc Thompson. I've been going at this car now for 6 hours, and I'm still not done. I said, just keep it. Just keep it. You'll see for yourself. There were some mystery things in there. There were a couple of science projects. There were a lot of, you just gave me the international science.
Oh, my God.
Which is that?
Look, dude.
What am I looking
at? Turn on the monitor so I can see your computer from the video.
That one.
Look, if I do this, fingers pointing to this computer right here, that's the video.
Okay. We need to work out that signal.
I did. I thought we did that on Friday.
That was Friday. I've had beer since then.
There it is. Got it.
Yeah, I can't get...
Because I know damn well you're going to go, hey, put this up there.
I can't get Cher to play anyway, but I ran across several stories that indicate to me that the end is near. I really do. I think we're nearing end time. Nothing makes sense. Everything is upside down.
Everything is upside down.
It's the bearded Spock world, which, by the way, Eunice said she's going to send us.
Oh, no way, dude.
Yeah. After Skip said that the bearded Spock was up at Doc's house, I was talking with Eunice, like, hey, is that still up? Because if it's,
that is fantastic.
I'll send it. Okay, thanks.
I'll swap you for a car.
Yeah. I got some of his clothes here. I'll swap you for.
Wow.
So yesterday, Cher on Twitter, and remember, this is Cher on Twitter, She tweeted, I understand helping struggling immigrants, but my city, Los Angeles, isn't taking care of its own. What about the 50,000 plus citizens who live on the streets, people who live below poverty line and hungry? If my state can't take care of its own, many are vets, how can it take care of more?
Oh, yeah, the world has just flipped upside down.
And everybody's like, what?
Who just said that?
Who the hell is this? And what have you done with Cher? It's like that, and this all comes from. Remember on Friday we talked about the. A lot of people would have considered a joke, and I think it really did start off that way. Why? Because a lot of people would call into Rush and the other shows and say, "Look, why do if the Democrats and the progressives want these illegal immigrants coming in, why don't we ship them all to their state,
sanctuary cities?"
And everybody, that
if you're a sanctuary city, aren't you supposed to take them?
Right. And then all of it, that's just, it'll never happen. And that's silly. That's a good one, though. And then all of a sudden, I think the president went, wait a minute. That's not a bad idea. And I think he started having Sarah Sanders say, look, because even she initially denied it. And then all of a sudden by Friday afternoon, it was, yeah, we're looking at this. And boy, howdy, did that light things up. Nobody wants to have them come to their city. Everybody is all for bring them on in. They want refuge. They want to get away from the dictator. Let them in.
This is where the mayors put their put their mouth on the line or put their money on the line. I mean, put their money where their mouth is. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Holy crap, it's early.
Here, one of these. There you go. Or at least catching up.
That's right.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, Cher is right. And I saw a lot of people attacking her. It's like, hey, you finally. No, seriously, thank you. She finally, I guess.
She seems to get it. I mean,
she had
that's
an
a question.
Epiphany. I don't know. Maybe she's
like, oh, wait a minute.
And this isn't not the time to attack her. This is the time to say, okay, finally, you've got good. Spread the word. Go out and find your fellow freak progressives. Tell them too. It's common sense. If we can't help the people on the street, why are we bringing in more people? And Cheryl Atkinson, she wrote that essentially, wouldn't or shouldn't these cities, the sanctuary cities, shouldn't they be suing the federal government to allow the illegals into their cities? If they are, in fact, sanctuary cities and they believe it is better for their economy and that they commit less crime than residents, aren't they morally obligated in this sense to make sure that they come to their city? Wouldn't that be a benefit to their city? Why aren't they suing the federal government saying, we want them in our city now? Yeah. All of a sudden, the chickens have come home to roost, and they don't know what to do about it.
Literally. And that's the thing is, hey, we welcome immigrants into our city. We don't use the term illegal.
Right.
We welcome immigrants into I'm sorry, what? You're sending them to my city.
One guy did a video. It was in a foreign language. It had subtitles, so it wasn't that from a broadcast sense. It was not that compelling for radio, but it was him asking people, first of all, do you think we should allow immigrants this was in Europe? Should we allow these immigrants into our country? Oh yeah, we know we need to do everything. Well, we happen to have one right here. His name's Juan, and he wants to, can he stay at your house? Ooh, we're leaving town tomorrow. We don't have the time.
That's right. My front gate is locked, and I've lost the key. I don't know.
It's amazing how and it is. In theory, it all sounds great. Let them all in. I mean, there's room for everybody. The pool isn't nearly full, but the reality of it is that we can't take care of the people that are here for whatever reason. And there are many. And there were no one on well, I'm sure there are a few, but for the most part, we are not anti-immigrant. We're anti-illegal immigrant.
That's right.
Does the system need changing? Oh, yeah. And I've told this story before about a friend of mine in Nashville. She married a guy from Italy, Mario. Mario and I had a unique way of communicating. We just talked louder and slower to each other. because he didn't speak a lot of English. Mario.
Isn't it funny when you're talking to somebody that has a different language that speaks a different language than you get
louder and slower. I said, hand me the drill. And he still looks at me the same way that I look at him when he asks me to do something in Italian.
I'm pretty sure that if you speak Spanish fluently, and because I don't, and you talk louder and slower to me, I still don't understand.
Yeah, that's pretty much the way of it. But Mario was coming here legally, and it took years. I mean, 5 or 7, something crazy. They were doing it the legal way. The system is broken. There's no doubt about it. It needs to be fixed.
Well, we had a new host start this morning, Jermaine Bazio. His show is at 6 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday now. And he said that his family, I think he said from Haiti. I think that's what he said. I could be wrong. Or maybe it was South Africa or Africa. But he said it took them 12 years to get through the process.
It's insane.
But they did it correctly.
And I don't blame people who want to circumvent the system. I would too.
Yeah.
I'm the first one that if I can figure out a way to go around the set of rules for something and to shorten my time waiting on something, I will do it. I admit that freely. Don't follow my example. I'm a very bad example. We need to fix the system, but neither party is interested in fixing the system because they like to take advantage of the system and bring in the labor/vote/ you fill in the blank there. It's a problem. It needs fixing.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you start a new job this last week?
I wear many hats.
Well, you also wear UPS clothing. So we have people asking now. We either have a new sponsor or Brad started work at UPS.
Well, actually, technically, this shirt's green in person. The camera picks it up as brown. But on Friday, I think I wore the brown one. And yes, when I wear the brown one, what can brown do for you?
Hey, good morning, Big Sarge. I see you out there, brother. It was a great show on Saturday night. Thank you so much for joining the family.
You want to tell everybody what the Big Sarge show is about?
The Big Sarge show, and I think it's at 8 p.m. Eastern on Saturday nights. It's our buddy who is a join the family. He watches the morning show. I saw that he posted out there. Big Sarge show, 2 hours on Saturday nights.
Does he drink during it?
I don't know, but he probably should.
It's Saturday night. Might as well.
He had a round table. Hell, they could have been drinking. I don't know.
Were they jackholes? They were drinking.
Oh yeah.
That's
yeah. We actually had a new show on Saturday, and we've already had 2 new shows start today.
Wow.
One was at 2 a.m. called The Informant, and the other one was at 6 a.m. called Conservative Nation. And then we've got a third one starting today.
2 o'clock in the when's the third one starting?
At 11 a.m. right after this show. It's Uncommon Sense with Bill and Jen.
That's a great show.
It is.
That's a great show.
Funny as hell.
Mm-hmm. Are they doing that one live?
They are not. Well, they're doing video, so
that's a yes or no question.
It is a yes or no question, except this week we're making it look live.
So
there will be live video for it, but
yes, it's live as far as you know. That's the answer. That's what. Yeah, of course it is. Sort of.
They just needed a little bit of time, so we're giving them.
Okay, that's fine.
It's a funny show.
Right, so it'll be a nice respite from this one afterward. Then, immediately following this program, which will continue after we talk about. It's continuing right now. It's guns. I mean, if they like alcohol and they like guns, there you go. There's jackholes. Don't mix the two. I was reading about these the Springfield XD 9mm, and they're popular. I guess that's the only gun I don't think I have.
A Springfield?
I don't have a Springfield. I need to get one apparently because they're one of the top best 9mm pistols.
Yeah.
The top 10 semi-automatic handguns. They ranked them. This was Gunbacker, and it was the Glock 19. I have a 23. Browning high power. The CZ75B. Never heard of it. Must be Russian.
Is the Springfield a police carry? Do you think? I don't know.
Possibly.
I know Glock is Smith & Wesson, but
yeah,
I didn't know a Springfield.
I remember back when cops used to carry revolvers.
Absolutely. My dad carried one.
That's still my favorite
6-shot revolver with 2 more of those speed loaders on his belt.
My favorite gun, still my Smith & Wesson 38.
That was back in the 70s and 80s.
Doesn't really matter what your favorite gun is as long as you take a look at Tar River Arms at traguns.com. They have the Springfield Armory XDS 9mm. They have one left, and it's on. Now, first thing I always do now at TRA Guns is I click on the clearance aisle. I'm just cheap. So everything that's on clear, though, ooh, get one of those. They only have one of these Springfield Armory XDS 9mm. It's $385.
What?
$385 for this gun. There's one of them left. So if you're in
that
the
looks
market,
like a nice little carry gun.
I know. It's cool. Tiny little gun.
Pop that up there so people can see it. Springfield Armory XDS 9mm.
That is a neat
3.3 inch. That's not bad. That's a nice little carry gun.
And see, I'm always looking for something I can carry in shorts because I don't usually wear pants during the summer.
My friend Carrie, I mean, he wears shorts a lot. He just drops it in his pocket.
Yeah, I don't like something. I don't want anything too heavy because then it pulls your shorts down.
Yeah,
I hate that. So I need something.
And
really
9mm will do the trick.
And it'll but pulling your shorts down.
Either that or putting somebody else down.
There you go.
Speaking of which, Bradley, what is that over your left shoulder against the back wall there, my friend? I know.
You mean Lusty Jill hole?
Nope.
Oh, next to the sex doll?
Yeah, look at that.
The
folks.
liquor cabinet.
You can't
you
really
mean on
see
top of the liquor cabinet?
Yeah, you can't really see it, but look at that. Brad mounted the TRA Guns AR-15.
Perhaps we should rephrase that. Built a cabinet for it. Because otherwise...
Oh, you did.
Because otherwise it just sounds weird. Yeah,
that looks good, Brad.
On the front of the cabinet it says in case of emergency break glass. Which just in case don't break the glass. There's a little
clip. Just unclip it.
Just unclip it and take it out. Believe me, you'll have time.
That looks good. Brad.
Thank you. TRAguns.com. Yeah, I tweeted out a picture of this earlier today. It's like, let's see, a blow-up sex doll, alcohol,
and
an AR-15, train track sign. Yeah, that about sums up our experience here. It has been a weird 2019 so far. Yeah,
it'll get weirder before it gets better, I think.
It is so strange. I was going to talk about Nancy Pelosi, but I thought better of it. There is a couple, and I want you to see if you can figure out what's wrong with this story. This is in Detroit. A young couple in Detroit. They're the ones who helped AOC when she won her election last year. They are launching a pro-socialism media company from their home. The company is called Means TV. It's an internet-only streaming service that for a monthly $10 subscription fee would offer entertainment programming with pro-worker and anti-capitalist viewpoints. Does anybody see I don't know, just the... I was reading that and thought that this can't be real. So they're offering you a $10 a month subscription service to tell you about how bad capitalism is. This would include original TV shows, talk shows, comedy sketches, because nothing says comedy like social.
Sounds like capitalism to me.
Oh, so they'll have reality TV. They'll have on-the-ground reporting. The service, the brainchild of filmmakers Naomi Burton and Nick Hayes. She's 29, he's 22. They are a boyfriend-girlfriend duo who gained that national attention for their work with Ocasio-Cortez and her campaign. Means TV began releasing preview videos last month, and the duo is aiming to raise $500,000 through their website by the end of May. That amount, they say, would finance an initial year of programming, which would roll out late this year or early 2020. There are just so many things wrong with this story.
It's like the definition of capitalism.
Yeah, you'd think. They are going to use edgy Vice media-style videos in a Netflix-type on-demand model to capture the attention of millennials and members of the younger Gen Z, who may feel dissatisfied with where they think society is headed and aren't familiar with other economic systems.
Gen Z. Yeah, Gen Z, they're dissatisfied, all right.
Yeah. They're looking around going, what in the hell have you people done with this place? You know, we were told that this place had nice carpeting.
They're dissatisfied with the liberal left. That's what they're dissatisfied with.
Our future is almost guaranteed to be worse than the future of our parents at our age, which is essentially the case now. Which, by the way, speaking of old, I realized that in looking at a couple of pictures of my dad when I was a teenager, I'm going, God, I'm older than he was in that picture. Hayes said Tuesday in an interview at the house that he and Burton rent, which for now is also Means TV's headquarters. When I talk to young people, especially those who have come from poverty, there's no hope for a better future, he said. They know that the whole I'm going to be rich someday thing is a trap. And yet, aren't the two of these people trying to build something? They say they were both brought up in Democrat voting households and over time lost faith in that political party's elected officials. Well, I can understand that. I grew up with the idea that Democrats were morally right. After 2016, I realized they're all full of shit. It's not true. After 8 years of Obama, nothing happened except things got worse. And yet they continue down that same path. I know. Let's
just continue to do the same stupid shit every day.
What's worse than Obama? I know, socialism. Let's try that. Means TV debut comes at a time of rising interest in socialism among Democrats, which is often traced to Bernie and his 2016 candidacy. By the way,
Means, M-E-A-N-S, Means TV.
Make sure you get your subscription early. Buy several of them for friends.
We'll give them as gifts.
Yeah, they'll love them at Christmas time.
Especially to your conservative friends. They'll love you for it.
The other thing that Una has, we're going to auction off, I think, is for whatever reason, Doc had a collection.
This was hilarious, though, when we found out about it.
Of Bernie Sanders stuff.
She texted us when she started sending us pictures of all of the stuff that she was finding. It was caps, it was buttons, it was bumper stickers. She says, wait a minute, guys. What's going on here? What are you trying to tell me? And we were like, I don't know.
I think that he, either people were sending him this stuff, or he was a closet Bernie fan, or he, because a lot of people collect political memorabilia, and he did have a lot of stuff like that. But she kept finding Bernie stuff, so I think she's going to send us the Bernie stuff so that we can auction that off. I'm telling you, it has been the weirdest damn.
And when we're not able to auction it off, we'll just give it away. How's that?
Oh, somebody will buy it. One of the jackals.
Somebody will buy it because it's got Doc's DNA on it somewhere.
Exactly. Yes, because there's no telling what he did to this stuff at home.
Brad has quite a bit of DNA on him now.
Oh, good grief! That's the irony of this whole thing, is that I have been trying to declutter my life in general.
And then you realized your life's not that cluttered?
Well, and it's like, holy shit, this is all somebody else's crap. I've got tubs
what
and
did
tubs
you do with all of that when you laid it out on the driveway?
Most of it,
sacked it up.
A lot of it was trash, and a lot of it was dirty clothes.
Okay, this one thing you said you found in there freaked me out a little bit.
Which one? I mean,
the sack of what'd you call it?
Oh, thanks for bringing that up as I'm taking a drink. Yeah, you don't want
a sack of meat of some sort.
Yeah, I'll tell you about that in a couple of minutes. It's you don't want to. I wonder if I took a picture of that. I'll see.
Oh man.
And see, in the meantime, you see if you remember any of these diets. The Master Cleanse diet.
Oh, absolutely. I probably did that.
Water, lemon, maple syrup, cayenne pepper. Drink that for over a week. 10 days, dieters shun all solid foods, and consequently society itself to drink the spicy tea. The cabbage soup diet. I tried that one. Cabbage soup. Yeah. The alkaline diet. Restriction is the alkaline diet's second name, based on the concept that eating more alkaline foods and shunning foods that make your body produce acid will vastly improve health. Apparently not so much.
People swear by these stupid fad diet things.
Well,
they swear by them.
And the word diet itself is really a misnomer, because any diet is what you eat. It's what's your diet? Well, I eat vegetables. I eat sugar.
Think about this, folks. If you drink nothing but, what was the first one you talked about? That was the
Master Cleanse, yeah.
Where it's got cayenne pepper. If you drink nothing but liquid for a week, what's going to happen to your body? Well, you're going to lose water, and you're going to lose some weight.
Yeah.
Please don't think that that's going to be because the minute you stick a regular piece of food in your mouth, you're going to gain 4 pounds.
Yep.
My brother and I did the Atkins diet one time.
If you know what, if you could stick to that forever.
No, it wasn't the Atkins. I'm sorry. It was the HCG. Does you know what that is? That's where you put the drops under your deal and you eat like 500 calories a day.
You put the drops under your deal.
Under your tongue.
I remember that one.
You put the drops under your tongue, and then you only eat 500 calories a day.
It's like
for
heroin?
like 3 weeks.
Crack drops? Heroin drops?
My brother and I screwed up and did that right before New Year's. And then on New Year's Eve, I ate one pimento cheese sandwich, gained 7 pounds back.
See?
What in the shit?
Well, Riduzone, that's where you need to go. A healthy lifestyle, good exercise, and Riduzone. Come on, common sense. That's all it takes here. Riduzone.com. This is your Daily Mojo, and the mystery meet's coming up.
Happily promoting the 4 F's: freedom, faith, free markets, and fun. MoJo 50.
I'm Michael Pelka from PureOpelka.com. Here's your 2-minute drill. Over the weekend, this happened in South Bend, Indiana. Yes, a bunch of frothing millennials gathered to hear Mayor Pete Buttigieg tell us that he doesn't really understand how our government works.
And we can't say it's much of a democracy when twice in my lifetime the Electoral College has overruled the American people.
It's a nice little bit of campaign rhetoric, Mayor Pete, but it doesn't really ring true with the actual way we run this government and the actual way that we, the people, select our presidents. Don't they teach civics in Indiana? Come on, man. Mayor Pete tossed out a few more pieces of progressive red meat to the audience gathered to hear him announce he was finally in the race. And of course, he had to talk about voting and fairness.
So let's make it easier to register and to vote. Let's make our districts fairer.
I don't know how much easier it could be unless you make Election Day a paid holiday for everybody, even people who don't have a job. Oh, wait, that's coming. Mayor Pete continues.
Let's make our courts less political.
There's a novel thought. How about judges who use the Constitution and not their own opinions to make rulings?
Let's pick our president by counting up all the ballots and giving it to the woman or man who got the most votes.
Mayor Pete checks a lot of boxes for many young Democratic voters, but he reminds me of an old Native American moniker, Chief Big Cloud, No Rain. Testudo, my friend, testudo.
Mike Opalka's 2-minute drill is powered by MoJoWildRice.com. Their wild rice is a superfood, gluten, sodium, fat, and cholesterol-free, yet high in fiber, protein, zinc, phosphorus, and trace minerals. But you're going to love it because it's delicious. MoJoWildRice.com. MoJoWildRice.com.
The Daily Mojo.
Yeah, Stinky's right. The new diet, I just found a bag of 4-month-old meat in Doc's car diet. And here, just real quickly, here is just a still shot of the bag of mystery meat there.
What's that you're wearing?
A decontamination suit. You think I was not after 2? How long has it been? March,
months.
April. No, it's
February,
been like 2.
March, April. Yeah,
it's only been 2 months. It feels like it's been
like
110 years.
Yeah.
It has been 2 months ago, 2 months and a few days, that Doc went on vacation. And, yeah, this thing has been sitting there in the sun in the, I guess, in the first part of February, it was still chilly. We've had a couple of good 100-degree, or not 100-degree, but 80-plus degree days. The experiment was in full swing.
I'm pretty sure you're about halfway through the clean out right there. With all that,
that's halfway through. Secret eater, man. I don't think he was a secret eater. He just
Doc lived in his car. I mean, you got to think about it, folks. He drove 10 hours every weekend.
Yes, he did, and he ate his meals there. We'll get that video going at soon, hopefully. SK Thompson tweeted, "Will I don't get paid for 2 weeks diet work?" Yes. Yeah, it does. That's an amazing. The divorce diet works well.
Mac and cheese ramen noodle diet.
Mm-hmm.
You could always do that one.
There is nothing wrong with that. National Z emergency means TV isn't legit. $500,000 won't finance very much content. The typical Netflix drama cost $1 million an episode to produce. And
tell you what, let them send us $500,000, and we'll see how much content we can produce on that.
I know people who have had
we can make
millions of dollars and have not been able to, for whatever reason, make things work. So it'll be interesting to see if the little socialists can make that whole thing profitable in a socialist sense. I mean, they don't want to go crazy and make all kinds of money, because who needs all that money? They don't need all that money. Why would they need the money? Everybody else needs the money. Tiger Woods won the Masters.
Tiger Woods, y'all. That was brilliant. Did you see the after?
I hate golf, by the way.
I don't hate golf. I just don't watch it a lot.
Ugh.
But it was good to see him get back on top again. I mean, he 11 years, folks.
Yes.
11.
And if you had asked me 11, I remember when that happened, when he accidentally drove his car into a tree and his wife tried to help him get out because she was worried about him, So she started
smashing out
swinging that golf club. It's like, no. She was trying to extricate him from the car.
God, and so many sponsors left him. But look, I mean, yesterday when he won, you could see it. What's funny is when he putted that last little, what was it, about a 3-foot putt?
Sure.
It went in. He did a little fist pump, and I thought he was just going to be real reserved about it. But the more it went on after the fact, and he started hugging people, and you could tell he was excited. You could tell that this
story could have gone a whole lot differently in the past 11 years.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, he did not give up. He hasn't given up. This story could have ended with him, with his head blown off somewhere in a back alley. He could have Kurt Cobained himself. He could have done a lot of things.
He could have.
But he didn't.
But the guy had, what did they call it? Career-saving spine fusion.
Yeah.
Surgery that allows him to still play golf.
Right. Yeah, and back problems, they suck.
Well, for a long time, I thought it was his knee.
Knee, back, same thing.
No. I mean, I think he did have knee problems.
Yeah, he may have.
God, it was just one thing after another after another.
The back thing, yeah, that'll put you down. Lower back pain is just horrible because it affects everything you do. And I didn't realize this. You cannot run at the Masters.
From hole to hole?
I guess.
Is that what it is?
I guess you just can't.
You got to walk it.
Running is bad. Golf is so pretentious. I'm sorry. It is just pretentious. You've got a quarterback in an NFL game who's dealing with 60,000 screaming fans. You can't sink a damn putt from 10 feet with people going, oh, no, this is a tough one right here. We got some noise out there on the green. And they look at you. If you can't, I mean, it's pretentious. It's like watching.
It's a gentleman's game. That's what it's supposed to be. I say gentlemen.
And then there's Phil Mickelson.
Not in the sexist way. That the golf has always been considered a gentleman's, or let's put it this way, a ladies' game. I mean, it is a very pretentious style game. Look, none of the professional golfers are allowed to get in a golf cart and walk and go from hole to hole like that. They literally have to walk it. But they do that, 4 days in a row?
But damn it, don't run. Do not run. You know what? You're in danger of getting exercise if you run.
Well, there is that.
We don't want that happening. And there's some people who love golf. I just can't imagine sitting there watching golf on television. I mean, it's interesting when people like when Tiger Woods does it because there's a story behind it. But for the most, there's a story behind all of them. I get it. Shut up. But it's it's just painful to watch. It is just painful.
I went to a golf tournament here in Dallas-Fort Worth area a few years ago. My brother and I saw Phil Mickelson play. We followed him around the course. It's about like going to NASCAR for me. Unless that sucker hits a hole-in-one.
Or someone gets in a fight. A good golf fight,
that's just not a whole lot going on.
No, there's not. It's a bunch of people who aren't running, standing around, just talking like this. Hey,
wow.
Wait until he gets to the next hole. It's going to be incredible. Wow, that's amazing.
But there are tons of fans.
But
Brad.
I'm glad. I'm for whatever reason, I kind of like Tiger Woods. He's just
he's a likable guy. He just screwed up. Everybody screws up, you know.
He just did it.
He did it in a real public way.
You know what? I mean, if you're gonna go big or go home, so he went big. He had a babe in every port. Man,
I can't wait to hear what Matt Locke has to say about it. I don't know if Matt's a Tiger fan or not, but you know, Tiger won the Masters.
Yeah, he did.
And Matt's a golfer, so let's see what he has to say about it. That'll be interesting.
Oh, yeah. Matt being a golfer, that explains so much. It really
he
does.
Plays now. He plays pretty much every week.
Let's see, Stinky Duck. So if one of the Masters golf course alligators comes after you, you better start speed walking. Yeah, isn't that where? Haven't we seen? It's always on a golf course where you have the big 15-foot gators that you see that don't even look real.
That just walk out.
Just walk because they realize you can't run. You just had.
Yeah, they just cruise out on the green and just hang out there, and they're like.
And more signs that we are approaching the end or are in the midst of end times here in Dallas. Our district attorney has decided they're not going to prosecute if you steal stuff valued at under $750. And what do they call it? Life essentials. You know, it's like food, whatever. If you're hungry and you steal a loaf of bread, up to $750, they're not going to prosecute.
Every convenience store just went, what the hell?
Right. Okay, how is this justice for people who own stores?
And every convenience store owner just looked up traguns.com.
Uh-huh. I don't.
What in the hell is going on?
No. The Dallas County's new district attorney announced his office no longer prosecute theft of necessary items up to $750. The announcement drew an immediate reaction from small business owners. Yeah, who are worried that word of the policy will encourage shoplifting. Why wouldn't it? If they're not going to prosecute you, and is this $750 per occurrence or over, let's say, a month or over your lifetime?
So now when the security guard at the store stops you on the way out and says,
I'm only up to $300.
Why did you put that shirt in your purse? Come in here.
It was necessary.
Going to arrest you.
It was necessary.
All they have to do is say, yeah, I just don't have any clothes. That was necessary.
Right. That's it.
Oh, well, okay. Be on your way then.
What is it? What are they thinking? I mean, if you're...
All these stores are going to have to start taking it into their own hands.
Some of these things, I guess part of it... well, no, that doesn't make any sense either. I was going to say part of it is the non-prosecution of drug offenses. People who are caught with, you know...
that sentence joint. I just read.
Which one?
Finally, theft has been legalized for someone other than the government.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah, this is from our website, Front Page Mag. I like the way this guy writes. It's true. That's exactly what it is. It's like in Chicago. They decide they're dropping the charges against Smollett.
Is there just so much crime now that you can't prosecute someone?
No, our court system is a nasty. It's like our immigration system. It's like every other government system. They clog it up with a bunch of red tape and crap, and nothing gets done. It's like what's happened to the health insurance industry. It's every time the government touches something, it turns into a giant fecal pile. They are not good at anything. Name me one thing the government is good at aside from taking your money.
In Dallas now, somebody's going to go load up a couple of shopping carts full of toilet paper.
Why not? Why not up to $750?
Sorry, I just need these things.
But are they going to start giving you like a punch card that? Okay, let's see. That's
all right. You're at $650. You got $100 more to go.
Because you go over $750, and we're taking you down.
Oh, no, they're going to walk through the checkouts and go, can you add this up for me? Yeah, it's $749.
Good.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Take it with them. This is the nuttiest thing I've ever seen. No, it's not the nuttiest thing I've ever seen. It's one of the nuttiest things I've ever seen. And it's just another sign that things are... I don't know what the hell is happening. This is what old people feel like. They look around and they go, what the hell is going on in this world?
Brad.
I used to recognize this country.
I just thought of something.
Yeah.
Most handguns are under $750.
Yeah, you don't want to steal from a gun store. Bad, really bad idea. Well, no, you know what? Speaking to the idiots out there, that's a great idea.
That's a fantastic
try
idea.
it. You should try it. There's nothing like the thrill of stealing from a
Anybody
gun
who's
store.
reading this article and feels like you need to go steal $750 worth of stuff, make it a gun store.
The DA's letter says criminalizing poverty is counterproductive for our community's health and safety. For that reason, this office will not prosecute theft of personal items less than $750, unless the evidence shows that the alleged theft was for economic gain. And again, not that sentence cleared anything up. It just made things murkier is all it did. So if you were going to steal, let's say, shirts, $750, so that's where you go. The $750 worth of shirts, if you were going to turn around and sell that, then they might prosecute you, prove they were going to sell it. Or in the case of who was it we were talking about the other day who was wearing the $700 shoes?
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah, there's that. They say essentials for us. Essentials are clothing. People have to have clothing. This is not a victimless crime, he said. This
the
is
firewood outside Kroger.
Right.
You just go stock up. Now.
Okay. Is it just me or when you walk by there, you go, that's just a bunch of sticks? They're not going to miss them. I mean, I could go over there underneath that tree and grab a bunch.
The ice machines.
The whole machine or just the ice in them? At this point,
they put a lot of stuff out on the sidewalk. A lot of these grocery stores do that.
Well, yeah. So
now it's just going to start disappearing.
So do clothing stores when they have their little sidewalk sales. They put racks out there in Nashville. Those sporting goods store on the corner did it all the time. And now that's what they call that drive-up service. Now you just pull your car up, throw the shit in your trunk, and leave. It's what has happened. This is a digging up dad. Hey, Dad. I've been dead now for a few years. Yeah, Dad, now if you can go into a store and steal something, and for $750, they're not going to prosecute you. What the hell? Bury me.
Yeah, put me back in the box, please. Thanks.
Yeah, by the way, I thought over the weekend how we can do digging up Doc. Doc, you're never going to believe this.
God, that was morbid.
It's true. It's just as funny as digging up Dad.
Doc's rolling over as it is.
Hey, Doc, guess what? They didn't prosecute Jussie Smollett.
Man.
What?
What?
Bury me. It's the world continues to just. This is a world where Delta Airlines. I saw this one, and it's just.
This is going to piss somebody off.
It's going to piss everybody off. Delta now is cutting the angle at which you can recline your seat, the distance you can recline your seat.
To protect what?
Personal space.
Seriously.
Bite me.
Don't you give up personal space anytime you step on an aircraft as it is?
And who in the hell were okay, the tray they say that this is about the person behind you and if they're working on their laptop and I agree, it sucks. Try fitting a laptop on a tray. Those trays are a joke.
Especially on Spirit.
You had to bring them up.
That tray we had was about the size of an iPhone 10.
You could have, your phone almost fell off it when you put it on there.
That is no exaggeration. That tray was probably, 7 inches wide by 4 inches deep?
Yes, it was not.
Just enough to set a glass on.
And they say they're not just doing this to economy class, that they're also doing this on, and they said that this isn't not about money saving, not about putting more seats in, it's about personal space, and it's not just economy class. They're doing it in first class, too. So first class, instead of being able to recline 5.5 inches, now it's only 3.5. That's going to piss some people off. You start messing with the people
because they're not going to change the prices of the tickets.
No. And you start messing with people who've paid, $1,500, $2,000 for a first class seat, they're going to start raising the stink. The rest of us are like, yeah, okay, whatever. This is just another get through. I just take drugs before I get on the plane now so I can literally pass out while I'm on the plane. Otherwise, it is pure hell. Absolutely pure hell. Which, by the way, the pure hell this half hour is brought to you by the Rich Solution. Rich, so it must have been Friday that, did she send you a text?
No, I was on the phone with her this weekend setting up. She's doing her live show today.
Okay, I'll run Spoonie, which starts at?
9 a.m., 10 a.m. Eastern.
Time zones.
Yep.
So 10 a.m. Eastern over on Spoonie Radio. So Gwen apparently was watching about the time that, or maybe was watching the repeat of of Suspicious Package Friday, and so we had just opened.
We do clutter that room on Suspicious Package Friday.
Of course,
we've got crap sitting everywhere,
and there's stuff on the floor,
empty packages on the ground and stuff.
And she apparently thought that was the way it looked all the time.
She's like, I just have to tell you this. I just have to tell you guys that y'all studio has become a trash heap. She didn't really use those words, but that's kind of what she was going for.
Said shithole.
And I said, Gwen. She said the floor was just a wreck. I'm like, Gwen, you can't even see the floor unless we're on a break and I do the wide shot. She says, yeah, but it was just a trash heap. And I said, well, maybe that was Suspicious Package Friday, and they had opened all this stuff. And I said,
we cleaned it up.
I said, we do have quite a bit of stuff in the studio now, but it's
yeah. Say, Gwen.
Well, maybe that's when it was. She said, and I went, oh my goodness.
You know, their house is spotless. Their house is just spotless. The Rich Solution. If you're looking for a better way of doing things, number one, if you haven't yet checked out the Doc Thompson Healthy Lifestyle Challenge, number two, which, by the way, does not include the cabbage diet or the cleanse or any of that. It's all about really getting things straight in your life, and that's not the proper term. Just doing things you want to. It's about the quality of life. That's what I'm trying to say. It's
now,
about,
Brad, you actively use their products now, right?
Yep. I take
they
the
set you up with a supplement package.
Yep. Yep, they sure did. And I swear I feel better, aside from the neck thing. And I think that's just stress. Not that there's any stress in my life, but if you want to live the best life possible, it's about the supplements. It's not just about eating. It's about doing things. It's about the way you live each day. Go to therichsolution.com. Let me rephrase that. It is about the supplements. They sell supplements. So, you know, it's about buying supplements. No, really, it's really about the whole package. Therichsolution.com. And don't forget the Doc Thompson Healthy Lifestyle Challenge. And you can also have Gwen come over and critique how you tend to your
What's
housekeeping.
the next giveaway on that? Do you know? Is it a cat cooler?
Yes.
Honestly, I don't remember what it is.
It's a new car.
Thank you, Rob Roddy.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It's a new car.
It's a brand. I ever tell you about the time I was in Rod Roddy's car with him? He stopped to get gas.
I loved Rod Roddy, dude. He had the voice.
Come on down.
You're the next contestant on The Price is Right.
I've done some weird things in my life.
Rob Roddy was a great announcer.
He was. He had some interesting habits.
Now, see, you're about to blow it all out of the water here.
Nope, I'm not. I'm about to tell you that I was in his car with him. I can't remember where we were going. And he got out to get gas. And actually, this is a smart thing to do, and I don't know why I don't do it. He got out to get gas, put gas in his car. He had one of those big land yachts. And I remember he had a pair of rubber gloves. He pulled them out of and used those before he pumped the gas. At the time, I thought it was weird. Now that I'm older, I'm like, that's a good idea. I should put some rubber gloves in the truck. Plus, if you ever kill somebody, you're right there. I just thought it was a neat idea. You
wear Brad Staggs.
Wear rubber gloves. Well, yeah, I mean, otherwise you end up looking like Dexter.
That's right.
So anyway, it's what was I talking about? I don't even remember now. Oh, I think I was going to mention a tweet because I saw one that was interesting. Oh yeah, SK Thompson, $700. Is that retail or wholesale? That's another good question because these are all things that lawyers will bring up. Talking about the new, is it law now or is it? Has he decided that the district attorney in Dallas is not going to prosecute for under $750 if you steal stuff, which is good for the stealer, not so good for the stealee. Yeah, it'll no longer prosecute. So I don't guess that even needs to be signed into law. It just poof, it is. It's kind of like Kim Fox in Chicago. Poof, we're not going to prosecute Jussie Smollett. It's crazy. These are signs of the apocalypse, the end times.
Oh, Tom messaged us and let us know that right now it's this Mother's Day gift box that's the next giveaway for the Rich Solution.
Well, that's a good thing.
That is a good giveaway. And then after that will be 3 packs of a collection of Doc coffees from APR.
Which, by the way, I'm drinking one of the new ones right now.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate the update.
It's nice to know Tom is usually men of Tom's age are still sleeping. He rolls up about noon or so. Finally wakes up. In Chicago, they filed the lawsuit on Friday. They are suing Jussie Smollett for the cost of investigating the alleged staged attack.
So they finally, okay.
Yeah, they are doing it. They filed suit. He's got to pay. They wanted him to pay for the investigation. He refused. It was $130,000 plus. The city attorneys wrote in the suit that the defendant knew his attackers and orchestrated the purported attack himself. Later, when police confronted him with evidence, he still refused to disclose his involvement. And why wouldn't he? Because, I mean, if he knew that they were just going to go, you know what? Never mind. Why not? That is the... Again, this makes as much sense as anything else in the news today. The lawsuit filed in Cook County seeks money included but not limited to $130,105.15. By the way, that is a little, that's a pricing strategy. You know that if you price something like at a garage sale or wherever, like $122.13, people are less likely to try to negotiate with you.
Because they think it's a specific amount. Yeah.
So if you say $25, whatever, we take 20. But if it's like $26.42, okay, here. It's a mental thing. $130,105.15. The suit also asked Smollett to be found liable to the city for $1,000 for each false statement he made to the city, in addition to 3 times the amount of the damages the city sustained, as well as litigation and collection costs and attorney's fees. And let's not forget the attorney's fees, because there's going to be a lot of them. They've got a case on the face of it. This is according to a legal analyst in Chicago, Gil Suffer. Whether they win is a different story, but they have a case. The thing about this is it's going to bring a lot of evidence to public.
What? I'm reading ahead of what you're writing because I could see it on the screen. Reading because I could see it on the screen. And Rahm Emanuel's quote was beautiful.
Well, what did he say?
He said, Rahm Emanuel offered a suggestion for how Smollett could pay the city back. He said, given that he doesn't feel any sense of contrition and remorse, my recommendation is that when he writes the check, in the memo section, he can put the words, "I'm accountable for the hoax."
That is good. It's okay. Another side of the apocalypse. I'm starting to like Rahm Emanuel.
That's the icing on the cake right there.
This is all combining with everything in the past couple of months. Feeling sorry for Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
Agreeing with some things Harry Reid said.
One of our earlier hosts said, have you seen a picture of her lately? Oh. She has aged 20 years.
She looks like 20 miles of bad road. She really does.
We're not in Arkansas right now.
No, it's she, and of course she's trying to play off all the entire the ultra progressive wing, the socialist wing of the Democrat. Yeah, it's 4 or 5 people. That's all, 4 or 5 people. Yeah, Nancy, you got a lot more than that to contend with. It'll be this is going to be exhausting for you, I'm afraid.
Just like doing your damn taxes. You get
really
your taxes done?
We don't talk about things like that.
You only have a few hours left.
That is that right? How many hours do I have?
Between now and midnight.
Have you not ever heard of filing an extension? I haven't filed my taxes on time in years. Of course, the last year I have no money to file taxes on anyway, so whatever. Yeah, it is April 15th. By the way, I saw an interesting tweet from Patriot Mobile this morning that, there it is right there. Excuse me, let me read this in a better voice. Patriot Mobile is closed on Sundays to allow employees time to spend with their families and worship as they please. We believe in the idea that God, as proven in Genesis 1, can do more in 6 days than we can do in 7. Amen. That is the truth.
I love that.
I do too. I think that's great. And the Patriot Mobile is just a good company. They're just good people. And they're working for change. The good kind of change, the good kind of hope and change, not that other hopey, changey stuff. When you go to Patriot Mobile and you open a cell phone account with them, part of the money that you pay them every month goes to fund the conservatarian causes that you support, not the bad progressive and ultra left wing, the Planned Parenthoods of America. They don't support things like that, and therefore your dollars don't inadvertently go into the hands of somebody who's doing things that you do not want people to do. So go to patriotmobile.com/mojo. Find out how they will pay off your existing phone, your existing contract. And you can keep your old phone. You can keep your old number, get a new one. You decide. It's up to you. Have it your way. Much like Burger King, without the onions, at patriotmobile.com/mojo. patriotmobile.com/mojo. This is in addition to being tax day. And this has been throughout history, this has not been a good day. In 1865, Lincoln died from the assassin's bullet. He lived for 9 hours after he was shot by John Wilkes Booth. In 1912, this day, the Titanic sank.
The Titanic sank, yeah.
That is a fascinating story.
About 107 years now? Wow.
Yeah, 107. Wow. And each one of the big reasons, and I didn't realize that, is that all of the compartments in the bow, if they had capped each compartment,
right,
it wouldn't have been a problem.
That's
but
right.
There was no lid on them, so each one flooded and went over the wall. Yeah, you'd think they would have seen that one. And I didn't know that the Californian, another ocean liner, the Californian was 20 miles away from them at the time. But because the radio operator was off duty, they didn't hear the radio signal, the distress call.
Yep. You know, the radio operator on the Titanic shares the same name as my father.
Does he really?
Yep, Jack Phillips.
Really?
No kidding.
I wonder if at that point, I wonder if the guy felt guilty. I mean, you can't. It's like he didn't know.
No, there were so many things that went wrong with that.
6 years ago, 3 people were killed and hundreds injured in the Boston Marathon bombing.
Yeah.
6 years ago.
That was this day 6 years ago?
6 years ago this day.
Wow.
I know. Time is just, woo! It's blowing on by. By the way, Patriots Day, the movie about great movie.
Mark Wahlberg?
With Mark Wahlberg. Yeah. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
You know, today's the day after, Brad,
of
Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're talking about that, too. Polka doesn't like Game of Thrones. What's wrong with Stunt Brain? We need to have him checked.
Did you watch it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Daily Mojo continues in a second.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. At least 8 deaths blamed on fierce storms that roared across parts of the Midwest and the South. Texas, Mississippi, and Louisiana, Arkansas, and Georgia especially hard hit, with more than 20 tornadoes reported. Monroe County, Mississippi Public Works Manager Sonny Clay.
I'm going to say we had 70 and 80 mile an hour winds. It was certainly a twister tornado. We've got trees laying in all 4 different directions today. We've got tops twisted out of 36, 40-inch diameter oak trees. We've got 24-inch, 30-inch pine trees that's blown completely over.
National Weather Service meteorologist John Moore says additional unsettled weather could arrive later in the week.
This doesn't look like a system as potent as we saw this weekend, but there could be some storms in the area. We're still a few days away, so we have to really detail the forecast in the days coming up.
The severe weather moved into the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast overnight. Gusty thunderstorms cross a wide area, leaving tens of thousands without power. The White House has not abandoned the idea of shipping illegal immigrants to sanctuary cities. Presidential advisor Kellyanne Conway says it could happen unless Congress finally addresses the immigration crisis. She says President Trump has repeatedly urged lawmakers to do something.
He has asked for Congress in a 70-point plan to do everything from end the visa lottery system to chain migration. He was willing to do a deal on the Dreamers. It's false when everybody says, oh, there was $25 billion on the table by the Democrats, but the president walked away. That was what was allocated, not appropriated, and they know it.
Conway on NBC's Meet the Press. Time just about up for filing your tax returns without an extension. Midnight, the deadline. Wall Street this morning, stock futures are mixed. Dow futures up 21 points, S&P futures up 1, NASDAQ futures 3 points in the red. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-570-6630. 800-570-6630. That's 800-570-6630. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
If you're tired of being fat, that's the simplest way I can put it, try Riduzone. It's not magic, it's science. It's a simple way to help keep yourself from overeating. Go to Riduzone. That's Riduzone.com.
Say what you want to say about Cortez. She's not unattractive. Whoopi Goldberg, ugly as dirt. She one ugly woman. She ugly. Whoopi is jealous.
Making radio great again. The Cartel with Matt and Ron. Weekday afternoon. MoJo 50.
Wow. Hey, guys. Ron Phillips from the Conservative Cartel. I want to tell you about a new weight loss product that's quickly becoming part of our MoJo 50 family. Okay, so it was launched by this Texas company who have taken the good stuff in olive oil and created a patented product that helps people control their appetite and lose weight. That's right. It's also a big help to keep the weight off. In a 6-year study of former contestants from The Biggest Loser, you remember that show? It showed that when you lose weight, your body actually thinks something bad has happened and it fights back by slowing your metabolism and boosting your appetite. Riduzone, that's R-I-D-U zone, contains a patented ingredient that has been shown to boost metabolism and reduce appetite while helping you burn fat. If you are struggling every day with cravings, try Riduzone. It makes it so much easier to control your appetite and not think about food all day. That's my problem. For a short time, we have a 30% off deal for our show. Just go to Riduzone.com and enter code MATT. That's M-A-T-T. Again, that's Riduzone.com. R-I-D-U-Z-O-N-E.com. Riduzone.
If we weren't so bad.
To puppy rape.
I like to cuss.
Do I want to keep my penis?
Cat wants some black titties.
We wouldn't be so good. MoJo 50. Mothership has landed.
It is always so much fun to see the look on people's faces when they hear that bumper for the first time.
Yeah, it's like
you like cat wants some black titties.
I keep my penis. It's
ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce to you? He doesn't look it at all, but he is in fact my brother.
Yeah, your brother.
Houston Morse.
Your brother. Put your little button there. Button has to be up.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get up on that microphone.
Get right up on that thing.
You can lift it up if you need
there you go. That's it. That's it,
baby.
You can lift it up.
Deep up on it.
Yeah.
You
Can I lift it up?
Yeah, you can, and then you like to it.
Thank God, because
There you go. That's it.
y'all are all short people.
I know, right? Now he made it a lot taller and bigger. That's good. So wait a minute. How long you guys been brothers?
My entire life.
Yeah.
I mean, from the
Pretty much from the get-go, yeah. We decided to be brothers.
That was a question Ralph Emery actually asked somebody on the show on Nashville Now years ago. And he was dead serious, too. That's a very strange thing.
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily
If you said stepbrother, there could have been, there could have been.
Well, we're half-brothers.
There you go.
We're half-brothers.
Which half?
brother from another mother.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So are you in town for what?
I was originally in town for my cousin's wedding and then decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to tag along on your show, make myself famous.
Good.
For a bit, yeah.
You're in the wrong place.
Yeah. you came to
you
the wrong
shot
place.
higher than you probably should have.
Yeah, well.
We've discovered that the way to be world famous is to jog in front of an Amtrak train. That works, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, after that, though, you really,
To die is pretty much the way to get the most attention, so we're going to have to ask you to do something later on.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it's not going to be pleasant for you, but will benefit all.
But yes, we will absolutely benefit.
Okay.
Yeah. And by the way, you will enjoy the fact that
you did it.
I did it.
He played that once already this morning. I'm like, oh, please.
Yes, I'm like a 5-year-old with a new toy. By the way, that's the sound. Can you guess what the sound is?
Just take a guess.
Just
Sounds like a lion having sex.
It's actually very, very good.
Very
it's a tortoise, a giant tortoise.
A giant tortoise doing it.
So I think I've actually seen that clip. So
yeah, actually, the kind of things that Houston watches is a little strange when you get it.
Yeah, you find some weird parts of the internet, dude.
Dude, those are the best parts of the internet. If you ask me.
Greatest.
In the dusty corners of the internet, that's where all the fun stuff lives.
Exactly.
It is the most wonderful thing and the most terrible thing you'll ever find.
It's essentially Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
Just like,
come with me.
You just have to be
you'll
careful some of the doors that you open because there's some really frightening things behind them.
Where all that fat kid just reaching into the chocolate fountain.
Yep, exactly.
My mom says hi to you, by the way. She says hi.
Aw.
Hello, Lori.
Like a family affair. Did you guys see the story of the kid who locked his dad's iPad for 48 years?
You can do that?
I didn't know it either.
I didn't know you could do that.
3-year-old incorrectly guessed the password. And the iPad went into self-protection mode. You know how it says you can't open it for
like 6 days or something like that?
This one, the device told him it had locked itself for 25,536,442 minutes.
That was multiple attempts at the password.
That's
just racked up the minutes.
I like the fact that sounds such I don't know, like vindictive of an Apple.
Wait,
because they're like, oh, you're gonna try again? Okay, let me just go ahead and add another month.
Yeah. Okay, you met the new iPhone commercials where it's privacy. That's Apple, or that's yeah, right.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to wonder. Okay, maybe this is part of that whole new advertising campaign. You know, somebody gets out where they're never getting into your iPad. They're never seeing your pictures.
Oh, you think maybe it didn't happen?
I'm starting to wonder.
That they disseminated just to.
They would never do that, would they?
Oh, come on. Apple, they're stand-up people.
And yet we continue to buy their products.
They're just, that's
Isn't that amazing?
I refuse to buy their products.
He actually,
out of spite.
He quite literally has
stuff,
no Apple products with the exception of like an old iPad.
Yeah, I have like a Gen 1 iPad that I refuse to ever give up.
Right.
Well, I refuse to give up because it's
But
still
Apple
working.
makes such cool stuff. Why don't you want any of their stuff? It's really cool. You'd like it. Here, let me show you what my Apple stuff does. It's the weirdest thing.
Now you know.
I know. It is like a cult. I don't know why we keep going back to them.
It really is. You know what's funny is like I was sitting there looking at the new Microsoft laptops, which look really awesome. You know, and I have a PC at home that I built and I love it. You know, and I prefer that way over using any kind of Apple product. So I'm sitting there looking at my little Microsoft laptops, you know, the tablets. They're both a keyboard and a tablet. You can take it off and it becomes a thing, and it's awesome. And quite literally, my fiance starts going, "Why are you doing that? Can we go look at Apple laptops? Why are you doing that? Stop!"
Smite the infidel.
She is one of the chosen.
She is.
She's continuing the mission.
She's actually an agent for Apple as well.
I think we all are. By the way, the Mother's Day gift. When is Mother's Day? I mean, for everybody who doesn't know, when is Mother's Day? I mean, I know when Mother's Day is because, of course, I'm focused. When is Mother's
I rely on Facebook to tell me.
That's true.
Like other social media things.
My iPhone usually pops up a reminder.
It's Mother's Day. Hey,
yes.
remember to get your mom something.
Exactly. Yeah,
that would be Sunday, May the 12th.
I knew. Why are you looking
welcome.
Oh, Ron's a good person. The rest of us are horrible.
That was a quick Google for me right there.
So don't lie. I see it on the reflection of the window behind you.
By the way, the reflection behind you exposes a lot of what you do, Ron, and I am not impressed, sir.
What?
I am not impressed.
Oh, we can see everything you're doing.
Everything.
It's like a mirror behind you.
I am disgusted and also intrigued.
Yes.
I see those dirty sites.
Yeah. If you go to MoJoWildRice.com, they have their Mother's Day gift pack all ready for you. You can act like you picked all the products out individually and put them into a box yourself and claim credit, and they won't care as long as you buy it from them. It's like $46. So it's MoJoWildRice.com. If you use promo code, I think it's Mom10. Somebody moved all the papers. You know, it's like having people stay in your apartment when you aren't there, and then they move everything around, and you can't find anything. The guys who did a show this weekend have moved everything around, and I can't find anything.
We should come in and beat them up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, y'all don't do that when you stay at other people's apartments?
Just move everything around?
Yeah. I do it for fun.
So you're a big guy, though. Nobody's going to mess with you. They realize that you'll just kill them if they confront you. If you order today, you still have guaranteed delivery by Mother's Day. And 10% off if you use the promo code MOM10. Any order received by Sunday, May 5th. Guaranteed delivery by Mother's Day. So if you like your mom, go to MoJoWildRice.com, use promo code MOM10, and get her something nice.
Lauren says, what happened to Springton?
That was in spring.
That was in spring.
Jeez.
It's no longer spring anymore.
Try to keep up, for crying out loud. Oh, and before I forget, I did want to mention it was Larky F. and Farkin who had the best tweet, because we were just talking about the Titanic going down on this day in 1912. And he said, little known fact, the pools in the Titanic are still full after all these years.
Well thought out. That is one. Larky's not wrong.
You know what?
Larky is 100% correct.
And here's the weird thing. Try telling a trade center joke. Try telling a
you'll
World
get
Trade.
crucified.
Oh, you'll get.
yeah.
But 1912. The hell, they're all dead.
Was it South Park actually had a rule for that?
How many years?
Yeah. What was
it? It was like 20 years and 2 days or something like that.
Because we're rapidly approaching that for the.
I think it's 20 years
Center.
and 2 days, because it's the generations that have to move on from it.
At the Tennessee State Fair, the last time I went, and this has been 5-6 years ago, there was a Titanic slide. So it's the bow of the ship, or the stern of the ship, up in the air, and you slid down it. It's like, okay,
God.
how far off are we from having to World Trade Center?
World Trade Center slide,
Yes. I mean, isn't that weird when you think about it?
But in a way, it's. This is going to sound horrible, but in a way, it's good.
That sounds horrible.
It's good because, at some point in time, we have to not let things like that really kill us. And you have to be able to make.
There's a bell in there. I just don't know which one.
It is a tragedy, no, it's not a tragedy. It's an atrocity. That it was occurred, and I think there's a difference between the two. But yeah, at some point,
are we still to Titanic or Trade Center?
No, the Titanic was a tragedy.
Okay, yes.
Yeah,
the Trade Center was an atrocity.
Okay,
yes.
Okay.
Have any of you ever been to the Titanic exhibits before? I know they have a big one.
I can't hold my breath that long.
Takes a while to get down there.
That was Brad's slide.
Brad, you're from Tennessee or been up there, but the Pigeon Forge.
Yes.
Pigeon Forge has one.
Has a what?
The Titanic exhibit.
Oh, yeah. Yes, they do.
And they had a gentleman in there who looked exactly like Captain Smith. Wow. And he was sitting in this one room telling the story as if he was him.
Right.
Oh, it was intriguing. It was brilliant.
You know who I just realized? The guy who played the captain in Titanic in the movie is the same guy who plays Davos Seaworth in Game of Thrones.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, they're the same guy.
We're going to talk about
some Game of Thrones
coming up.
Good, because I was going to bring that up. We have to talk about the episode from last night.
All right, let's just get this spoiler alert out there right now.
Yeah, screw 'em.
Yeah, spoiler alert. If you didn't see it,
let's do the headlines.
There's definitely one thing I have to bring up for that.
We've scoured news platforms and agencies around the globe for today's most profound news headlines. Presenting them now, here's Brad Staggs.
No, it's not me.
Psych, it's me. You thought it was Brad Staggs, but it's not. It's Brandon Morse. Doing the headlines. Yeah.
Lines.
One of these headlines is not like the other. Brad must guess which one, and so must my brother.
Wow.
That was great.
You came.
You know he thought about that on the drive over here.
Yes, he did.
No, I sat in bed last night thinking that one up.
That was fantastic.
I was like, Brad is going to be so proud.
I am proud.
You didn't give your brother the cheat sheet, did you?
No, he doesn't know what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on but me.
I'm actually terrified. I'm curious how long it actually took him to make that. I feel like it wasn't actually just last night. He might have spent all weekend on that.
I've got like a chalkboard just filled with ideas that are crossed out.
I live rent-free in Brandon's head.
This could be a really good show with the two brothers sitting there.
I know, right? I might just sit back and watch. Oh. Wow, that sounded weird.
Yeah. Maybe you should learn to...
Right.
All right.
How much to watch?
I mean...
I don't know. I keep seeing that like $3 billion. Like, for $3 billion, would you do a porno? I'm like, yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Definitely.
There is a price for everything.
There's a price for everything.
He's going to fit in just fine.
All right. First headline. Beginning next school year, one county must their substitute teachers must have high school diplomas before they can teach.
Wait a minute, they didn't before?
No, apparently they would just apparently you could just walk in off the street.
What did you say this was, Tennessee?
It's Raleigh, North Carolina.
Same thing.
Good Lord, dude. Beginning next school year, anyone hired as a substitute teacher in the Wake County public school system must have a high school diploma. The school district previously required a diploma, but removed the qualification in recent years after rewriting the job description. We don't know if that removal was intentional or an oversight, said Wake School spokesman Lisa Luton. Our HR department made the change to include the requirement back into the job description.
Wait a minute. Is that a North Carolina accent?
It is now.
Okay.
Current subs without a diploma will be grandfathered in.
Sounds like Texas.
Luton added. No, it does not. It sounds like
y'all.
Shut up. We don't have a number of how many. Well, what's a North Carolina accent, Brad?
I don't know, but that's not it. It's not it.
We don't have the number of how many
That's
we have without
Michigan.
high school.
That's
I don't
like-
know. Apparently, North Carolina people just talk normally, I guess.
Oh, yeah, I know. North Carolina is just North Carolina.
So
North Carolina.
Were they just hiring like 15, 16-year-old babysitters for these things? Or
Dude, yes. Apparently
like,
they were.
Just Craigslisting it? Or
Yeah, like you could walk in and be like, hey, I would like to be a substitute teacher. Okay, are you even graduated from high school yourself? Nah.
I'll do it for $10 an hour.
Yeah. Here are my references. You'll see that on here, Miss McGillicuddy really likes the way I took care of her kids.
Yeah. And I also must have a pizza.
Yes, please. If you don't mind, I'm going to call my boyfriend like right in the middle of this because, like, you know, he's just really needy.
I mean, you laugh, but I actually had some substitute teachers do that back in my day.
Let's see here. Wandering moose leads police to stolen vehicle in St. John's. We have a crime-fighting moose. I like it.
What's wrong with that?
Was the plural meese?
It's Meeson.
Meeson?
Yeah. A moose that was trotting around St. John's Saturday night eventually led police to something unexpected, a stolen vehicle. The Royal Newfoundland Constabulary received several calls about the animal, which police said seemed determined to head south. Determined, in fact. The RNC said that the wandering moose made its way through the city's Rabbitown area, headed west, and then continued south toward downtown. Officers tried to contain the moose a number of times and drive it back to wooded areas in the north, but its craving for justice was too much.
Shall not be contained.
In a statement, the RNC said, much to everyone's surprise, the moose gave police a hand. And led them to a vehicle that had been reported stolen the previous day.
Hey, that car over there looks like it's been stolen. I'd go nab them if I were you.
I like this. And then they actually caught the criminals who stole the car, and they were like, Moose and Squirrel!
Where'd they find the car, Brandon? Wally World?
Yep, that's exactly where they found it, buddy.
Then not long after they found it, they'd heard
in the parking lot.
Court acquits man accused of eating fried chicken to dodge conscription.
Say what?
Yeah, hold on. One
more time.
Court acquits man accused of eating fried chicken to dodge conscription.
Oh, selective service.
A man accused of putting on weight by eating fried chicken to avoid mandatory military service was acquitted on breaking the law on conscription. Incheon District Court said Sunday. The 22-year-old college student reportedly underwent this is in Korea, by the way.
They don't eat chicken.
Underwent a physical examination for military service in August 2016. The test showed that the man, who weighed 106 kilograms and was 169.6 centimeters tall at the time, had a body mass index of 36.8.
Hold on, is that a lot? How much is 100?
Yeah, well, what's that in like real world weights?
Yeah, how much did he weigh?
Real people weights.
How many?
I don't know things about stuff.
Kilogram. How many kilograms?
Oh, 106 kilograms.
106 kilograms. 2 pounds. Whoa! 233 pounds. All right,
that's cute.
106. 100, yeah, I know, right? Amateur.
I haven't been that much since last year.
My left leg.
People with BMI of 33 and higher can be exempted from full-time military service and work as a public service worker. The prosecutors indicted the man for violating the military service law, arguing that he deliberately gained weight by eating fried chicken and drinking alcohol ahead of the physical exam to avoid the conscription. They also accused the man of stooping when getting his weight measured so as to increase his BMI. The man, however, said that he had been overweight for a long time, and then he didn't stoop. He didn't do the stoop.
So I was thinking he was trying to make the scale way higher by stooping. I'm like, you can't.
He stoops not.
Oh, so he appeared shorter.
Jump a little right there when they
He weighs 106, 108, 109, 106, 104. Pick an average.
It's unnecessary to continue, but I want to say this. Judge Shim Hyun Jul. Judge Shim Hyun Jul found in the man's favor on ground that he had been obese since he was 10. So he got away with it.
Just don't call him fat.
Yeah. That's right. Man sues parents for throwing out porn collection. This is about Brad.
That's completely justified.
An Indiana man is suing his parents for getting rid of his vast pornography collection, which he estimates was worth $29,000.
Good Lord. I have a funny story about that. I'll tell you later.
Of course you do. The 40-year-old man last week filed a lawsuit in federal court in Michigan where he moved in with his parents in 2016 following a divorce. He says that when he moved out 10 months later, they delivered his things to his new home in Muncie, Indiana, but that his 12 boxes of pornographic films and magazines were missing. His parents admitted they dumped the porn, which included titles such as Frisky Business and Big Bad Grannies.
Wow.
Oh.
Special kind of person.
Oh, Big Bad Grannies?
Yeah. The man filed a complaint with police, but the Ottawa County prosecutor declined to press charges. The lawsuit included an email excerpt from the man's father who told his son, "I did you a big favor by getting rid of all this stuff." The man is seeking triple financial damages of roughly $87,000.
I don't blame him.
$29,000 worth of porn. Why? It's free on the internet.
Right? Yeah.
That was kind of like my thing. You can get it free anywhere now. Like, seriously. Just turn off your safety filters on your search engines, and trust me, they'll throw it at you.
You'll find things you didn't know existed.
Exactly.
Find things you didn't want to know existed.
Random stuff pops up on mine, and it's like, how in the hell did that combination of words bring that out?
The internet is excited to show you. Trust me. Canadians face major donut shortage after first day of cannabis legalization.
I know which one's fake now.
No, apparently there were 17 Tim Hortons in 7 different provinces in Canada who were forced to close early the day they legalized cannabis. They had a shortage of donuts and pastries, and one reported a spokesman reported for the company.
Are you drunk again?
Yes. Tim Hortons spokesman James Dyke said that he had no explanation for the unexpected hike in demand for goods offered by the popular coffee shop franchise, but that some had suggested it could be linked to the recent legalization of cannabis. You think? Tim Hortons' head office in Oakville also sent emails to its franchise warning them of possible flower shortages coming up upcoming week to the unexpected hike in demand.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So those are your 5 headlines.
That was 5 already? Wow. That went by fast.
So let's review. Beginning next school, Wake County substitute teachers must have a high school diploma.
Mm-hmm.
Crime-fighting moose.
Is it sad that that's more believable than the donuts?
I know, right?
Court acquits man accused of eating fried chicken to dodge conscription.
100% believe that one.
Man sues parents for throwing out porn collection. And Tim Hortons found that they had a shortage of donuts the day after marijuana was legalized in Canada. Which one is true?
So the sad part is I find the chicken one and the suing over porn real, which is a horrible, horrible statement on the society we live on today.
Hold your guess, because first we have to talk about the coffee.
We have to talk about coffee now.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk about coffee. We get to talk about coffee.
Coffee.
What flavor are you drinking, by the way?
I am drinking, of course, American Pride Roasters Brandon Morse Code Monkey.
Smart answer.
Yeah.
Smart answer. I put cinnamon in mine.
Oh, did you?
Uh-huh. And I put some in the coffee, too.
Yeah.
It does, actually. Monkey bread, yes.
Really
by the way, whoever I'm stealing the milk from in the refrigerator, we're almost out. So you might want to buy some new milk. Just saying. No, this is actually really good. I'm surprised. They named it after you, and it's good.
Well, you know.
Who knew?
Anything that bears my name is going to be
right.
Quality.
Blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah. Isn't that the truth? If you want to find the best coffee in the world, go to American Pride Roasters, and you'll see Brandon Morse's picture right there on the front. Yep. Right there on the very front of it. That's a good picture of you, too.
Thank you very much. That was taken by Sean Foster. I give all credit to him.
I think you look fat.
Yep.
I think you need to shut up. That's what I think. I think you need to shut up.
AmericanPrideRoasters.com. That's for APR coffee. All right, so we have the 5. I think Ron, what are you going with first of all? What's the fake one?
Man, I wanted to go with the first one about the teachers, but I think I'm going to go with the man sues for porn.
Okay. All right.
Houston.
Do
we have a problem?
God, I knew it was coming at some point in time. At some point in time. He's never heard that joke before.
I know. That's why, yeah.
Oh, man. I want to say the donuts really do.
If you blow this, you're gonna the prize package that you're not going to get if you don't win is unbelievable. I mean, there's no pressure here, but
no pressure.
It's parked out back. Oh, I shouldn't have said that, should I? It's not parked. There's nothing parked there.
Which
one?
Gotta make a decision.
Right,
we got 1 minute left.
I'm going donuts.
Donuts?
Moose.
Pick and Pool says moose as well.
Wow, we've got 4 different ones here.
Yeah. All right.
3 different ones. Okay.
Also, Mojo Jedi says that you sound like Mr. Mackey. Hit it!
Is it the long one?
It was not.
It was not the.
It was not the long one. It's the donuts.
Yes.
Oh,
damn it!
Man.
This thing is more fun. It's the donuts.
Wait,
Did you guess donuts?
I guess donuts. I got it right.
That
means Houston technically has an unfair advantage.
Yeah,
he knows you better.
That's true.
He doesn't tell, doesn't he? He doesn't tell when he lies or something. He does. He his eye twitches.
Well, no, because Canadians have their free health care and they can't afford to let that many people get that fat on donuts.
That's a good point.
Yeah, there's no way they'd allow it.
That's a very good point.
The good news is it means that there is a crime-fighting moose out there.
Yeah, I always forget that. That means the inverse of everything. All the rest of them are true.
Not the hero we deserve, but the hero we need.
All right. I don't know what we're doing next, but you know what? We'll do something next, won't we?
Yeah!
Damn straight we will. It'll be the best thing you've ever heard.
A free exchange of ideas. Mojo 50.
It looks like you're losing.
I am.
Are you losing weight?
I am losing. I've lost about 10 pounds.
How are you doing it?
Funny name, but I've done it with Riduzone. RIDUzone.com, and the stuff works. It's, you get into all that, the molecule this and the found in that. All I can tell you is it makes you feel full, and it keeps your mind off of wanting to overeat.
And also boosts your metabolism, so you're burning more.
Yeah,
Try it today. It's going to work for you like it's worked for Brad and countless other people. Riduzone.com. RIDUzone.com.
Got an old car? You can donate it, whether it's running or not, to the United Breast Cancer Foundation and save a life. They'll even come and pick it up for free. The United Breast Cancer Foundation has saved hundreds of women's lives through their free or low-cost breast screen exams. But now they need your help. The United Breast Cancer Foundation wants to save more lives through early detection by offering women free or low-cost breast screening exams. And donating your old car, SUV, or truck, whether it's running or not, helps pay for them. Plus, you get a charitable tax deduction. Help the United Breast Cancer Foundation save lives by donating your old car, SUV, or truck. Call now for free pickup. 800-245-0823. 800-245-0823. 800-245-0823. Call right now. That number again is 800-245-0823.
The U.S. is on the edge, and we're here to set it right. Join me, Stephen Airy, with Defenders Live on MoJo 50 Radio. You can find us Monday through Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern. MoJo 50. Live free.
The Daily Mojo.
Wow, Lucky Up and Farkin is not happy with you, Brandon.
Why?
He said if you'd ever check your Twitter DMs,
okay.
You'd have heard about the kid locking the iPad because he's been sending you good stories for the fake headline game.
Let me go ahead and just tell everyone this, because I get a whole bunch of people sending me stuff all the time. I probably never check my DMs. I very rarely ever check my DMs. All right, I seriously, I might be on Twitter to actually tweet out links from my stories and then randomly upload like something funny that I saw.
Right.
But I'm never like actively exploring Twitter. Well, I very rarely am. So I'm sorry if somebody's sending me stuff.
You're not Twitter curious or anything?
I'm not Twitter curious. I used to be like addicted to Twitter, but then like I don't know, I just got so desensitized to it, or maybe like just disillusioned and stuff like that.
Yes,
that I was like,
it's because there's people involved in it.
Yeah, and people are stupid. But I mean, like I don't know, like after a while, I just found out that social media, because we've had this conversation before, like social media stresses me out for some reason, and I absolutely want to try my best to lower my stress.
Could it be because you're neurotic?
Maybe.
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe.
Could be. Doesn't mean they're not out to get me.
But yeah, it's it's not. So it's not that I don't appreciate y'all doing that, but I probably am just not looking at it.
I think he doesn't want your help. Is that what you're saying?
Get off my jock. Get off my jock, Larky. Okay.
MoJo Jedi. What if the Love Boat did a Titanic episode?
I love you, Larky. What?
What if the Love Boat did a Titanic episode?
That's how they should have ended it.
Jeff
Everybody's
Westbrook.
dying.
Jeff Westbrook never had an Apple, never will. They're overpriced and not worth it.
Agreed, 100%.
They are overpriced.
Macs don't crash like PCs do.
And PCs don't. I mean, Macs don't also. They also don't get viruses.
They don't get viruses.
Yeah.
They
also can't play any games on them.
Yeah.
You know they're for work. You know, some of us do work on our computers.
Well, I think you're doing your life all wrong then.
The Retina screen is amazing for porn, though. That's what you told me, isn't it?
Speaking of porn,
that's what you said.
Yeah, no, I was actually apparently 2013 they did a study on how much porn actually
there's a lot
drives technology, and apparently it's like the hidden engine that drives advancement that no one talks about.
Of course, because it's the sign at the back of the store in the Hustler Hollywood stores. Relax, it's just sex.
Yeah, it's apparently like a lot of the stuff, like one of the reasons that you see so much advancement so quickly is because so many people are looking to consume porn. Like,
well, they're pushing for the Holy Grail.
What's that?
Sex robots.
Oh, yeah,
just go to Japan. They've got them.
But no, I mean,
they're already there.
Yeah, they do, but I'm talking like fully.
I think
No, I mean like almost sentient sex robots.
They're getting close.
This is from
the ones that they've got over there are really amazingly lifelike.
Are they standing on the corner for like $5?
Soon. It's $20, same as downtown.
This is Business Insider. That's why bandwidth growth has been porn's greatest contribution to the internet, since it allowed more material to move around the world at a much quicker rate. Think of the military as the inventor and creator of a product, and porn as the entrepreneur who brings the product to the masses.
And what's the source on this one?
This is Business Insider. Insider, I hardly know her.
You said it, not me.
Porn also shaped other technologies such as library card cataloging systems in the home video market due to its large role during the VCR and Betamax battles. There's even evidence that erotica helped popularize early printing presses. Even technologies like Snapchat, a mobile app that allows you to send an image that self-destructs after a few seconds.
Wait, that's why it does that?
Dude, Snapchat's 100% for porn.
Yeah.
100% for sending.
It is a send nudes machine.
Yeah,
that's yes.
Because like you send it and like it disappears in like 5 seconds. You can't ever see it again.
The way around that, you have another device that you take a picture of that device with.
Or you could screenshot it.
Although it does inform them though.
It does. Yeah, it tells them like, oh, they took a screenshot of your junk. Congratulations, someone has a picture of your junk now.
But not if
I'd be proud.
Not if you take a picture of it with another phone. Yeah, just have to be prepared.
Seems like too many steps.
Brad's like, I invested in another phone strictly for this purpose.
You told me about that.
I did?
He just implemented it very quickly.
I'm a quick learner.
Yeah, it shouldn't be surprised that the researchers like Bars suggest that any business model for new communications technology should venture into the porn markets during its early days, even if Google bans it.
Oh, there you go.
That's interesting. So, like, quite literally. Oh.
Speaking of porn.
Speaking of porn.
Pelka tweeted out a survey earlier today that if you know the words to Game of Thrones, you're a geek. Wow.
Wieners alongside yet another wiener.
There are words to this thing?
According to South Park.
Yeah.
Oh.
You never seen the Wiener song?
No. I don't have to. Some of us work.
Again, that sounds like time wasted on your part.
I know, right? No, so Opelka sends out this survey. Are you going to watch the season opener or not of Game of Thrones? And I was yes. And it was like 90% were saying no.
What?
And then Opelka said that his base audience does not watch Game of Thrones. And I think, okay, what are you like?
I don't believe that for a
dead,
second.
or what's wrong with them?
I've heard people blaming things on internet trolls. That sounds like blaming on that's internet trolls. That's a perfect example of internet trolls.
The number of people, it was 1 in, or is it 3 in 10 Americans planned on watching it last night. It has huge numbers.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones has huge numbers.
I mean, like, seriously, a season premiere this big hasn't been seen in a while.
Yeah. Well, it was like 20, how many million people watched this thing?
They were actually like concerned about the fact that so many people were going to be watching that the servers were going to crash.
Yeah. I watch, and I never do this because I hate appointment television now. I just don't, I mean, I've got better things to do, but I watched it just as soon as we have HBO Go.
Yeah, so do we.
As soon as it dropped.
Yeah.
So we didn't technically watch it
live.
We just, as soon as it dropped, I'm like, boop.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what we did too.
Yeah, you think they use like Pornhub servers to?
They probably.
I mean, it falls in the same category.
They probably went to Pornhub and were like, "How teach us?
Yeah, show us your ways.
Us. Can we borrow some bandwidth?
Look, it is porn that we're showing.
Yeah,
come on.
So so you guys watched it?
Oh, for sure,
definitely.
Yeah. Right. Spoiler alert.
So, yeah, spoiler alert for what's coming up if you haven't watched it yet.
By the way, the whole Ice Dragon thing last week you talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Beth was like, yeah, I was the one because she didn't see that one until yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
I told you there was people out there because I guarantee you there was a buttload of people cramming, just binging on
for sure.
all the previous seasons prior to last night.
For sure. She had 2 years to watch that episode.
The fact that she's even watching it, the fact that I'm watching, if 2 years ago you'd said you're going to watch Game of, I tried to watch the first 2 episodes and was like,
it is one of those, like, you got to get in. Like,
yes, it's like 4
I will
episodes
say that
3-4 episodes in. Yeah. Hooked. I did that to him. I had like almost forced him to sit there and watch, and by like episode 3, he's like, "Not gonna watch the whole thing," and like binged watch the first 2 seasons.
I can't even figure out what it is about it that is so compelling.
Well, I mean, like, okay,
wieners.
Is that what it is?
Wiener.
Like Hodor's.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, that was a prosthetic.
Yes, it was. I read that too because I was like, damn.
Yeah, I was like, that's impressive.
When you look at that and go, damn,
damn,
then we got a problem.
Done. You know what? Hats off.
Yeah.
Did you watch it last night, Brandon? I'm sorry I missed it. I was on the phone.
Yeah. We Houston and I watched it last night.
It was fantastic.
And it was.
They released it earlier online than they played it on TV.
Oh yeah, Free Folk on Reddit was going crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How much earlier?
About 5 minutes.
I could have watched
10 minutes.
I could have watched it sooner.
Yes.
Damn it.
But one thing that we were. So I mean, by the way, we need to make a real quick rule here. I think that you have about 2 weeks to watch any given episode before we're allowed to spoil it.
It's fair.
Right? We're about to break that rule right now, but it is the season.
That's fair. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's just it was as long as you give a spoiler alert prior to.
Yeah.
You're fine. So if you haven't watched it yet and you don't want to know, then
then we'll make it like this: if we casually spoil something, it at least has to be 2 weeks later.
Okay.
But we have to give them a warning that we're going to spoil it.
All right.
So we're not going to spoil anything today.
No, we are. No, we already said spoiler warning.
Oh, okay. Spoiler. So
it'd be 2 weeks out before they don't have to give the warning.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But we're not going to spoil until we talk about Atron Teal.
I really want to talk about Atron Teal first.
I know, me too. I was like Game of Thrones or Love My Tummy.
Yeah, I love my tummy more than I love my Game of Thrones.
You know who would need? I'll bet when they were over there shooting in like Northern Ireland and everything, I'll bet they could have used some Atron Teal.
They probably could. Yeah,
I mean, those are tough days over there. They're getting up and it's cold, and they've got the bloating feeling, and I mean, you can't be on Game of Thrones and feel bloated.
You can't.
That's just, I mean, that's not right. That goes against everything that is good.
Do you think the dragons feel bloated? No.
No, of course not. Tummies. Right. Dragons do take Atron.
Yeah.
I think that's a scientific given. If you feel bloated, if you have, as Jeremy Hansen once said, and I've never been able to forget it for some reason, explosive bouts of diarrhea. I don't know why he said that, but he did. Atron could be for you. It works on the good gut bacteria that you have inside you. There are actually more gut bacteria in you than there are characters on Game of Thrones.
No, I refuse to believe that.
That's true. I know it's hard to believe, but it's true.
I don't think that's true at all.
So if you want to do the best for your gut bacteria, because it can affect everything from your mental health to your physical health to being fat to being thin, go to lovemytummy.com. And don't forget Dr. Ken Show over on Spoonie Radio on Thursdays at 1:00.
That's exactly what it is.
Right.
Well
I mean,
done.
Don't miss a minute of it. Just make sure you're there at 1:00 and you will be fine. Spoonie Radio, that's Dr. Ken, and it's lovemytummy.com. Support them because they support us. And if you don't, you're stupid.
See, I know if he had said there was more bacteria than there were dead characters in Game of Thrones, I wouldn't have believed him.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't have believed you there.
Yeah, that's
but living
true.
characters, yeah, okay, I can understand that.
So what'd you think of the episode last night?
All right, so the way I kind of look at it is, one, I'm disappointed that it was only an hour. Because we were told
2 of them are going to be 58 minutes, and then 4 of them, I think there's only 6 total, right?
This was the shortest episode.
Yeah.
The rest, the next one's going to be just a little bit longer, like 4 minutes, and then the rest are going to be like almost an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Because now it's going to be like battles, like pretty much. Because the one thing they said was, if you ever watched Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, the battle at Helm's Deep, did you ever watch that?
I think I either read the books or saw the. It's been so long I can't remember which I did, but I loved Lord of the Rings.
So like the battle at Helm's Deep, at least in Peter Jackson's adaptation of it, was amazing.
Okay.
It was awesome.
And that, how many years ago was that?
God, that was like in 2002, wasn't it?
So
something like that.
So think of how technology is.
And so but I mean, like, so what they're going to end up doing is they took a lot of inspiration from that scene,
right?
The entire scene, the battle scene of Helm's Deep, and it's basically going to be like a bunch of episodes of them just straight up fighting.
And they've got a lot to top if you think about it, because the battle scenes on Game of Thrones are some of the most brutal things I've ever seen, ever.
Yeah,
and not much gets to me. These holy cano, these battle scenes are just. Wow.
Well, Zig the Truck and Gator just brought up, even like if they're not huge, like even just, it's actually like the one-on-one scenes that are also pretty bad too.
The Mountain and the Viper?
Exactly. The Mountain and the Viper is the one he just brought up. And I was like, damn, like, because at that point, like, you're going for the Viper. You love the Viper at this point in time.
Yes.
And
it should have been a key thing that he's like,
as soon as you love somebody, it's like, oh man,
the fact
they're
that you
dead
love him.
soon.
And then like, he gets cocky. And the way he dies is just, oh my God.
I know.
Why?
I sat. Like,
Why?
It was almost like watching the gymnast knees last week.
Oh yes.
I went, ah! His death was unbelievable.
And Brandon, what was your favorite scene of this one? This episode?
So my favorite scene of this episode, you know what? This is gonna sound stupid. It's between 2. All right,
That
Ned
sounds
Umber.
stupid.
Ned Umber.
That's the kid.
The kid on the wall.
Yeah.
Opened his eyes.
That freaked me out
I was
a little
just
bit.
like, because here's the thing: as I was expecting
That just gave me
somebody
goosebumps
big,
now thinking about it.
I expected
Ugh.
like a main character to die, because I was like, they're gonna kick this off like hardcore. Somebody that we love is gonna die, and I kind of in the back of my head thought it's either gonna be Tormund or Beric Dondarrion, the reborn guy.
I'm going to admit something here, and other people have had the same problem, so I'm not embarrassed. I can't keep the name straight. So
there's a
Tormund.
lot.
Which one's Tormund?
Tormund is the redheaded dude who's
I love him.
I'm
everyone
surprised
loves
they
him.
even survived. That's my
Oh
deal.
yeah, no, me too. Because when the wall came down, I was like,
I didn't think they had time to get down and get out before. Yeah.
Right.
But one of the things that the reason is not only was that scene just ridiculously creepy,
right?
Like
Yes,
you
it
got to
was.
think
Oh.
about the way that it was. What they don't tell you and what they do tell you is amazing. So that place was already destroyed by the White Walkers, because it showed you in the intro them overtaking their castle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it showed that. And so the kid essentially went back to his land and walked right into the arms of the White Walkers, who then proceeded to, I'm going to guess, kill or torture him, and then pinned him up against a wall.
With pieces of other
with
people.
pieces of other people around him.
Yeah, that was creepy. Because when his eyes opened, I was like, did his eyes just open?
Dude, yeah, his eyes open, and I can tell you, like, I was like, he held up a knife, and I was like, oh, Tormund's gone.
Oh yeah,
It's
but
gonna
the
be Tormund.
shiver didn't go up my spine until he screamed.
Yeah, that's yeah. And then Beric like hit him with the sword, and then like the flames spread.
Okay, but this is legit because this is part of the dragon. Because you said he screamed, which is sounded.
Well, no, the kid screamed. Yeah,
yeah. But
that my favorite scene. Was
that was a little creepy.
What's Cersei's brother's name? I forget.
Jamie.
His face at the end.
Yeah.
The last 30 seconds of the show.
It's just like when you done go.
Do you know he hasn't seen him in the show since the first episode?
Since he pushed him out of a window.
Since he pushed him out of the window.
But it also says that Bran doesn't really remember as Bran now.
No, he remembers his entire previous life, but he does not consider himself.
He sees it all and knows it all.
Yeah,
right. So he doesn't. I mean,
but he's non-emotional about anything right now.
Well, you would be too if you were a three-eyed raven.
To the point where it's actually kind of creepy. Like I hate the fact that it used to be my most like the person I considered the most annoying throughout Game of Thrones was Sansa.
Yeah,
now,
really.
Now, Sansa annoyed the holy hell out of me.
But she's doing okay now, though. I mean, as far as her acting,
she's still slightly annoying to me.
A bit snooty.
She's
snooty. The snooty thing.
She completely redeemed herself once the thing with Littlefinger happened.
After
that, I was like,
that's the moment where I was like, oh, you're not the worst character in this show anymore.
Yeah, no, that was really cool.
You bumped yourself up to towards the top of the list of that.
But I mean, just the helplessness, and she was always so naive and stuff like that. But Peter Dinklage's character Tyrion made a really good point while he was talking to her. He's like, many people have underestimated you, and most of them are dead now. And I thought that was like, that's true. But
the thing that I didn't care for the most in this episode was how rushed they made the entire Samwell Tarly from the time he was talking to Daenerys until he told Jon. That was all real rushed.
Oh yeah,
but they had to get that part out.
Yeah, for sure, because it was like integral. And this is all the way we got to look at this is a setup episode. Because they're getting all the stuff out of the way, the reunifications and like the exposing the secrets and stuff like that.
It was just the march of the army was a little long. In the beginning.
Was.
It was like, okay, yes, there's a lot of them. We get it.
The dragons.
But you saw they tied that kid climbing the tree.
Yeah,
they tied that into when Bran was climbing the walls.
Right,
because that happened in the very first episode to the same music score, by the way.
Yep.
You Googled that, didn't you?
No,
you Googled that. You didn't know that.
Or did you just binge watch the entire series?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
I might have binge watched it.
Ron, and y'all will find this very interesting. If you want to talk about something coming full circle, one of the things that came full circle was, remember when Ned, the last time he saw Jon Snow, and he's like, the next time we see each other, I'm going to tell you about your mother. And when Samwell Tarly was telling Jon about Jon's lineage, he was in front of the statue of his father.
That's correct. The next time we see each other. There you go.
Yep.
But Jon didn't take it well.
Nope.
He didn't take that well at all.
Jack Hole Newbie just said, my wife and I always wait until the end of the season for Game of Thrones and then binge watch the entire season. Which on any other given season, I'd say that's fine. But this year being the last year, you're going to have to walk through life blindfolded and with earplugs in to not hear about this show.
I don't have the patience for that.
I don't either. I wish they'd have done it like Netflix does their stuff.
Yeah,
dump them all out there at one time.
Yeah, but I would never get sleep. I would never get sleep. But I will say, Houston, what was your favorite part?
I don't know.
It was kind of a slow episode.
It was
a slow episode.
There wasn't really anything that super stood out to me. I mean, I did like the part where he said with the Jaime Lannister at the very end, kind of seeing Bran. It's like, oh, hey, buddy,
hey, guy, what you doing?
But Jaime has redeemed himself over the years.
Let's be very frank about Jaime. His character arc has been the largest. He's gone from extremely bad guy to extreme good guy. But let's not forget that this guy on his path to becoming a good guy has done some of the most heinous stuff.
That's right.
And he's paid. He's paid for a lot of it.
Yeah. I mean, losing his hand and like having his pride reduced really helped him. But he's betrayed not only people he fought with in the war previous, in the rebellion.
Right.
He actually stabbed his own family member and killed him just so he could have a chance at escaping prison.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
He raped his sister.
She apparently liked it.
And she's a bitch.
Yeah.
Let's just go with that.
yeah.
Dude.
Especially what she did in this episode.
Not that she deserved to be raped. Let's just make that clear.
That is 100%.
But if she meets a horrible, horrible death,
I would not.
I'm not
be sad. Yeah.
What about
the evil never do though? The evil never do. Well, except for what's his name, Bolton.
Just about
Ramsey Bolton.
Just about everybody's gotten their comeuppance.
Brandon, do you think Braun's going to take that deal?
No.
Nah, I don't think he will either.
No, between Tyrion and Jaime, he's like best friends with both of them. He continues talking. They're making you confused right now because like he was continuously talking about how like, you know, for the right price I'll do anything and yada yada yada.
Right.
But I do not think that, especially at the moment. But who knows? It's George R.R. Martin, man. Now that I'm saying it out loud, now I'm like, I don't know, dude. George R.R. Martin.
They handed him the crossbow that Tyrion used to kill Tywin.
Yep.
The dad.
Yep.
And said, you got to take out both the brothers.
And that was Joffrey's old crossbow too, by the way.
Yeah. And there's a carriage of gold downstairs waiting on you if you do this.
Oh yeah. So
I don't know, dude. It's hard to say what Braun's going to do.
Yeah. Who knows? Well,
I feel that crossbow. I want to say, actually, I'm hoping for that's used to take out Cersei.
Yeah.
I don't think she's going to die. I really don't. Somebody that we don't want to die is going to die.
No. She's going to die, and we know that she's going to die because they don't really discuss it in the show too much, but there is a prophecy on her life.
Yeah, they did discuss that.
And it said like something along the lines of a brother or something like that with the golden hand. Now, that could either be referring to Jaime, who literally has a golden hand now, or
golden pimp slap.
It could be Tyrion, who is the hand, who has been the hand twice now, who also wore golden hands on his lapels and stuff. So it could be either brother, but one of those brothers, or both, are going to kill Cersei.
By the way, Zig the Truckin' Gator. So the Brandon Morse used to be addicted to Twitter. He's engaged now. It's amazing what Vagina can do for you.
Vagina.
And Lori F&D, Feral Jack, oh my gosh, GOT Monday morning analysis. And she's apparently bored.
Lori, this is... no. Wow. Does she not watch it? Is the problem?
That's the problem. Anybody who's bored by this conversation does not watch it.
No. Yeah.
This apparently, yes. Of all people, Lori F&D, Game of Thrones is like your life.
Yeah, I don't understand. How does she not watch that?
Right, yeah. You live it. Well, maybe that's why she lives it every day.
Go home right now.
Yeah,
start season 1.
Right. I mean, after the show.
Right.
After the show. Go and start this show. I don't know. MoJo Jedi Houston, he would like for you to say, okay.
Drugs bad.
Okay. By the way, this is so widespread and far-reaching. If you go to livescience.com, one of the articles is, can any animal breathe fire like a dragon?
Can it?
No.
Yeah, I think
By the way, there's nothing that can do that. They
You mean there's no such thing as a fantasy creature?
Yes, but she's expensive.
Brad? Brad, what was your favorite scene?
I don't know if I had a favorite scene. I mean, it's probably well, the scene that shocked me the most was the one with the kid on the wall. That thing, and nothing much gets me.
Yeah,
that one's like, that one gave me goosebumps. It was like, that's nasty.
Can I just say though, like, and apparently I'm not the only one who thought this, because apparently I'm sick. I'm very sick in the head. Did anyone else kind of get the impression that it was like a crab? And it was kind of like it looked kind of like an advertisement for crab, like from Red Lobster at some point in time. Just
this scene brought to you by Red Lobster.
Yes, like with all the arms. I was just like, why does this?
No, you're thinking of shrimp cocktail.
Why does this kind of look like?
It looked like a shrimp cocktail.
Yeah.
It looked like, yes, I see what you're saying, because I thought that looks like something. I couldn't figure out what it was. It's shrimp cocktail because of the way all the limbs were looking like shrimp.
So it wasn't Red Lobster. It was Outback.
It was Outback.
Shrimp on the barbie.
Shrimp on the, that's it. That's what it was. So it was an Outback ad.
Yep.
And by the way, National Z Emergency, thank you. Game of Thrones proves the point that politics is the most important part of life.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about politics.
It is a political show at the end of the day.
It is very
much is.
Very political.
I have to bring this up because I saw it and I had him rewind it to see it. Did anybody else see Jon Snow's sword blink?
No. When?
When he's sitting there talking with Arya, when they finally get reunited.
Do you mean the wolf? The
eye of the wolf sword.
Did it really?
And it's not the first time. It did it in the last season whenever he was climbing out of the icy water when he fell in.
Yeah.
And he put his sword up.
Oh, and he put it there on the edge of the ice?
It blinked?
It blinks.
I see. What's funny is I've always noticed that before the blinking sword during the ice thing.
Brandon,
but I always thought maybe it was a trick.
Does your brother drink? Is that his problem?
No. He's
There's something there. There's something about that.
Yeah, I think the sword is definitely blinking.
Well, it's Valyrian steel. So.
Yeah, and we were thinking that maybe it's either Bran watching, because Bran apparently watches everything, including his sister getting...
I thought he only did the living. How's he doing it through a sword?
And actually, I may have misspoken, because the blade is made of Valyrian steel, is the handle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, the hilt was made of, like, what? It was some kind of wood.
Well, it originally was a wolf. Remember?
No, it was a bear.
It was a bear. Yeah, because it was.
He gave it to Jon Snow.
That's right. And Jon changed it.
It might very well be, because it is white wood, so it very well might be wood of the God's wood forest, whatever they call it.
Do you think Jon Snow would ever retire
from
being king, being Jon Snow?
I don't know. He's gonna have that discussion with Daenerys pretty soon.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, one of them, the two of them. I mean, they're young now, but they're going to eventually have to retire. And don't you think that there's somebody they should call?
I think that well, you know what, Brad? I actually have the perfect person for them to call.
Who's that?
Believe it or not, it's Air Capital Management.
That is so weird. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
How weird is that we were thinking the same thing?
It really is, because retirement planning is not something to overlook. Brad.
I mean, even if you're a possible king,
possibly,
or a queen.
Yeah, you might owe the Iron Bank a lot of money later on.
You don't want to. What he doesn't want to have to do is hawk the sword.
Exactly.
Which is not a hawk. It's actually, like you said, it's a wolf or a bear.
Yeah,
so it's a hawk.
You don't want to hawk the wolf bear sword.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Man, bear, pig.
That's why you should contact Air Capital Management today.
Yeah. Don't be hawking your sword at the end of life.
They can help you put an investment plan in place using their in-house portfolio management process, so you don't have to hawk your bear wolf sword.
Right. I mean, you don't want to get to the end of your reign and realize, damn, I've got to give up all the good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to go live in a sheepskin box.
That's right. I'm going to go live beyond the wall.
Right. Under a tree somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't want to do that, Jacob and the guys at Era Capital Management.
That's right.
It's common sense is what it is.
Exactly.
So go to eracapitalmanagement.com and see what they can do for you today.
Your life, your era. Invest in it. Era Capital Management LLC is a registered investment advisor. Investing in securities involves risk of loss. Visit eracapitalmanagement.com or call 509-5596-229.
So are you ranting, or are we hearing Houston stories next?
Let's hear some Houston stories next. Because it's also kind of a rant on my part.
There you go. It's all part of your daily mojo. Don't go anywhere.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. President Trump says now is the time for Congress to address the immigration crisis. In a tweet this morning, the president writes, Congress should come back to D.C. now and fix the immigration laws. White House Counselor Kellyanne Conway says the president has been doing what he can in the absence of congressional action.
Administratively, from the executive branch of the government, we've done a great deal of work. We need the legislature to step in, and we need the courts to do something like the Ninth Circuit did just on Friday, which is at least give us some latitude on this Remain in Mexico policy.
Conway on NBC's Meet the Press. There is a lot of cleanup to be done across 5 states battered by powerful storms. Over the weekend, at least 20 tornadoes touched down. The storms affecting parts of the South and the Midwest claimed 8 lives and cut power to tens of thousands of utility customers, and more bad weather could be in the offing.
It does look like we have a potential for another pretty widespread heavy rain to possibly severe weather event across the middle section of the nation as we get into Wednesday into Thursday as another storm system develops across that part of the country.
National Weather Service meteorologist Bob Oravec. The unsettled weather moved into the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast overnight, bringing heavy rains and high winds. Rainy, mild weather in the forecast today for Boston. It's the 123rd Boston Marathon. The white suspect in recent arson fires that destroyed 3 historically black churches in Louisiana, scheduled for a bond hearing later today. The suspect, 21-year-old Holden Matthews, allegedly torched those churches over a span of 10 days. Well, if you haven't filed your taxes yet, time is tight. Midnight, the filing deadline if you don't get an extension. On Wall Street this morning, stock futures have turned lower. Dow futures down about 10 points. S&P futures all off 1. NASDAQ futures down 5. More on these stories. Townhall.com.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395.
Bottom line, if you want to lose weight, go to riduzone.com. That's RIDU zone.com. Riduzone has helped countless people lose weight, and they can help you too by boosting your metabolism and making you feel a little bit fuller naturally. Riduzone.com.
A former Democratic National Committee member told Politico on Monday that he will become national senior advisor to the Draft Beto campaign. That sounds like a horrible beer, probably a Pilsner.
The Defenders with Stephen Airy, tonight at 9.
MoJo 50.
Have you done it? You catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror?
I'm one of those people you don't want to see naked.
Yeah, most of us. But I mean, you look and you're going, what the?
I know.
How did I get to whatever?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible. Hey there, it's Doc Thompson and Brad Staggs to tell you about a different way to shed those pounds. This is brand new tech. It's only been around for a couple of years or so. It was based on research from the University of California that said there's a molecule called OEA that's found naturally in your body. It produces it in the Mediterranean diet, that when taken in concentrated amounts, it will actually make you feel fuller and boost your metabolism.
I've lost about 10 pounds so far.
It's amazing.
It
Now,
really is cool.
A company said, we can take this to market and make this great product that'll help you. It's called Riduzone, RIDU zone.com, RIDU zone.com. Brad's worked. It's worked for Brad's, worked for me, countless other people. Go to riduzone.com and try today. You're going to love it. Riduzone.com. Remember that, RIDU zone.com.
This is the MoJo 50 Institute for the Advanced Application of Freedom. Ya bitches.
Mothership has landed.
Oh, and by the way, Stinky Duck, thank you for proving my point. Where does tweet go? Yeah, Jon Snow didn't take it too well because he just found out, or not Jon Snow. Yeah, he's boffing his.
His aunt, which is actually not uncommon for Targaryens to do.
Yeah, well, there's that. Well, you know what? His aunt is hot. And owns dragons.
My least favorite scene was them like doing that whole new world nonsense with the dragons. You know, it's like
oh yes, when they're flying. That went on. You're right. That went on a smidge too long. Him climbing up on top of the dragon was funny.
Yeah, that was funny, and then the payoff at the end with with Drogon just like staring Jon down as he's like boffing his mom.
Yes, that was and who hasn't had the girlfriend or whatever that you go over to her house and she's got a dog?
Yeah, the dogs
and
are
you're like, hey,
This is a good boy. Why?
Yeah, I had one bite me once, so I married her. Not the dog, the woman. But yeah, so let that be a lesson to everybody.
I'm pretty sure it's illegal.
Right? It's Texas. You can get away with just about anything if you want to. So, are we? What's going on this hour, Brandon?
So as I've said before, my brother he actually went to boot camp in the Army,
right?
And he has experience in, I guess, multi-gender now training.
That's okay.
No, he's not trained to be multi-gender. But like
show me two spirits
both ways.
Show me two spirits now.
But the whole thing was like he so like they as we know, like they had to lower down physical like the
requirements, yeah.
right?
You had to
how
be able to-
difficult
yeah.
it is,
right?
Because women are now a part of the squads and the companies and stuff like that. So he has experience in that, and I just kind of wanted him to tell us a little bit about what it was like to have like a mixed squad.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they should be trained together at all. And I mean this like at basic training, whenever you're trying to get up to the physical standards you need to be.
Right.
Because anyone who says that, oh, men and women are physically the same, like
They're not.
You're lying to yourself.
I mean, are there some women who I would look at and go, damn, she could kick my ass.
Yeah, no doubt.
My sister Kristen is one of those.
Brienne of Toth. Or
yes, exactly.
Yes. I mean, there are women out there who are built like men, but for the most part, as a species, the females are generally speaking smaller and not as muscular.
Yeah, I play it off of like a rule of averages.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So Brianna Toth and all these women that like you look and say could kick my ass are chances are not average women.
No.
They're freaks of nature. Like Danica Patrick's and stuff like that. They don't come along very often.
They're not the standard, which is the problem you have to deal with the Army. I mean, you have to deal in standards.
Sure. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, averages. So the average man or the average woman cannot beat the average man.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. So I feel like the problem is if you train them together, especially at basic, when you're trying to build them up to a physical standard, is you end up pushing the women too hard and you don't push the men hard enough. So,
yeah, because you have to deal with the lowest common denominator, and that makes total sense.
And I ran into the problem of there were so many women in our platoon got hurt.
Were they hot? Oh. I have to.
I mean, I will admit, there's no makeup or anything like that,
Right.
so they can't make themselves pretty, and it's like, oh, tight hair bun all the time.
Right.
So it's like,
Right.
They're not really.
So when were you in basic training?
This was last year.
Okay.
I went in February 26th, and I went. Unfortunately, just one. Like Army just wasn't for me. It wasn't as disciplined as I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
He originally wanted to go into the Marines.
Yeah.
Right.
And they didn't have space for him.
Well, 5 days before I was supposed to ship out for Marine Corps, they were like, "Hey, we gave your job position away to someone else who scored a couple points better on a test than I did." So I was like, "Okay, not a big deal." But they were like, "All right, you've been in the program too long, in the delayed entry program too long. It's like you either ship out now or we're gonna have to go our separate ways." And they're like, the only jobs available was motor T and aviation mechanic. Like, I'll pass.
I work on planes.
I'm not a mechanic kind of guy.
No.
Like I like tinkering with guns.
Right.
I'm a gun guy all the way, but
Right.
I'm not an engines guy.
Okay. All right.
And it's not something. And I was going in for to build up experience, like things I could use on the outside world as well.
Sure.
And I would not spend my life as a mechanic. It's
Right.
not me.
Okay. But you thought that training the men and the women together, big mistake.
Yeah, because like I said, you can't push the men as hard as you can.
Right.
Because you have to worry about the women as well.
Right.
They can't keep up with the average woman can't keep up with the average man.
Right.
Not to say there's some women out there who could kick my ass.
Right.
But that's the exception to
Yeah,
the
they're
rule.
exceptions.
And I think that we as a society need to start being very real about that whole
Yeah,
thing. It's like, look,
especially
it's
in the
not
military,
same.
these people are the ones we have to rely on to defend our country and protect each other. If they're not being pushed to their limits and exceeding them, I mean, we're doing nothing but it's detrimental to ourselves.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I look at it too, because like even before you joined up, they've been talking about this. We're gonna make mixed races because it's time that we became more progressive in the military. But then like the problem is, and it's the same thing with fire departments, who started doing the exact same thing.
Right.
They had to lower the physical standards because women couldn't match them.
Right.
Naturally, but also like you just said, women were getting hurt a lot.
Yeah, like it was mainly it's a lot of hip stuff, like just joint issues. But yeah, it's like and the sad part is they say meeting the same standards. They're not. Like the women actually had lower standards than the men did.
Well, and like with the fire departments, one of the requirements I think was the ability to carry like a 250-pound man down a ladder or something like that. Well, a typical or a possible scenario that a firefighter could face.
Right.
And so, yeah, I remember that they at one point were like, they had to drop that down. Well, so you got to be able to carry a, 100-pound, whatever it is. Yeah. But, and see, I agree. To me, that's not, if you have the standard set for what the ultimate firefighter or soldier should be, if you are a woman, if you are a man, if you are, whatever, if you can meet those standards, then yeah, you can. That's what we need to. By all means, do it. Step on up. Here's the uniform.
Right.
But to start messing with the standards and the requirements for what the job is going to require, that just doesn't. That's not right.
See, I've always kind of. Oh, go ahead.
No.
I was going to say, I mean, I never really understood the whole idea, and this is going to sound so sexist, but I do not understand the whole idea of putting women in combat, period, unless they are at a distance. You know, like the snipers in Syria, the women snipers in Syria are some of the best, you know, and I'm not saying that being a sniper is any like less physically demanding, but when it comes down to it, a lot of times at the front line, you're going to get hit or somebody's going to get hit, and it's your job to help them carry that out. You know, you're having to carry a lot of gear, you know, all this stuff. And women just do not have the same kind of strength that men do. And so they become a liability, you know. And
but again, some of them do.
Well, yeah. Well, the problem with you're saying possibly as snipers, the issue is actually they're pushed out further than the Florida advanced troops, because I mean they're scout snipers. Their job is to be ahead of everybody else.
Well, and that makes sense, but at the same time, still, it's not like the same exact kind of like they're pretty furtive. Am I not mistaken? Because you can't be known where you are.
Well, yeah, you can't be known where you are, but you don't exactly always get the choice. And and the scout snipers and everything like that they're not treated as a separate person in the unit. Like they're actually part of the unit. So while they may be sent out ahead for a bit, they come back and eventually rejoin with their squad.
But the whole point is, though, is like they're not with the main force. I mean, they're with them. They're in that squad, but I mean, they're not with the main force. Their whole entire idea is we need you to go and see what's up, or we need you to take up a position. And in that position, they would have to remain secretive, or as secretive as they can be, because they don't want to be discovered.
Well, yeah, but that's only a slight portion of their job. Like that's not, while that is their MOS and their job, it's not the main thing they perform.
Okay.
So, I mean, like I said, most of the time they're usually with their squad and their unit. They're like usually part of the fighting force.
Okay.
They're sent out as need be.
Okay.
So if it's like, hey, we're going to be assaulting this position over here later, I want you to go out there and check it out first.
Yeah.
So when you were in basic training, how much of it was together? I mean, were you in the same barracks? Were you sleeping in the same rooms? I mean, how much togetherness? There is such a thing as too much togetherness.
There is.
There's definitely such a thing. But how together are the men and women in a basic training situation?
So we were all in the same barracks area, but they
Right.
had their own bay.
Okay.
So their own room essentially. But otherwise, we did everything else together. So they'd have their own living quarters, bathrooms, blah blah blah, etc. You know, privacy stuff. But whenever we mustered for to go out on get information, everything like that, we'd all come meet together.
Okay.
Out on the.
It's the same way it is in the Air Force. They didn't room together. They were in the same barracks, but they didn't room together.
Well, what about the transgender situation?
That
What if
wasn't
you
an
did-
issue back in the 80s when I was doing it. So I don't know what they're doing
Back
with
when
that
rocks
now.
were soft.
Back when rocks were soft.
And dinosaurs roamed.
Yeah, now
here.
now the trainees trained together, because I trained both male and female, but they didn't live together.
Yeah, Houston, you wouldn't know, but Ron was a drill sergeant.
Yeah, that's what told me when I got here.
He
earlier.
is tough.
So what's your opinion on that? What do you think of that?
What's that?
Of men and women training together, at least at basic.
I don't. It worked. The way they've got it set up is it worked well. And they trained together. But back in those days, we didn't have all the transgender and the sexism and all this other stuff. And the military is real good about keeping that out, because they just don't play around with it, especially your DIs. They won't. They just don't play around with it.
Not today.
Well, they still don't play around with it.
Well,
they just don't discuss it.
One of the things that they offered, or they pushed real hardcore for it, was if you join up with the military, they will pay for your transition surgery. That was one of the things that they were going for. And not only is that a horrible idea for many reasons, but at the same time, I do not understand why the military had to become a focal point for social experimentation, which I feel like weakens us militarily big time.
But again, if somebody who is transgender is transitioning, if they are if they can lift a 250-pound guy down, whatever it is, if they can pass all the tests and they want to fight, let them fight.
Yeah.
But I don't agree. I'm with you. As far as the transition cost of a surgery, that's a different story. But training in the same situation, That's you know.
Yeah.
That's Houston's about to sneeze. I'm about to ask him a question. He's look at the light. Dude, don't look at the light. Don't.
No, it's the worst thing.
Yeah, I know.
You get to try. You feel it building up, and then right there at the end, it's gone.
That's just a spoiler alert. That's the way the rest of life is.
The blue balls.
Just so you know.
It's the blue balls of sneezing.
There you go.
The blue balls of sneezing.
So you didn't run into anybody, any of the transgender situation, any weird, or I should weird,
plenty
any
of weird
strange,
people.
any out of the ordinary situations that we see a lot of in the news, because you'd swear by the news stories about transgenders in that they, you know, that there are 40 of them in every company.
Yeah,
but,
no, I never ran into any of those.
Did you see a marked difference in the way a drill instructor would treat a man versus a woman, by chance?
No, not really.
I was going to say there shouldn't be a difference.
No, they, aside from the physical standards,
that's correct.
There was no difference in the way they treated everybody.
Physically, in the Air Force now, and I don't know how it is in the Army, but physically, there were adjustments for the physical standards, as in run times and number of sit-ups, number of push-ups, things like that. Other than that, everything was exactly the same.
Wait a minute. So they actually had a different set?
Yeah, they had a different set of standards they had to meet. So to pass Army Basic, you have to get at least a 60 in each category in running, sit-ups, and push-ups. A woman's 60 was completely different from a man's 60. And this also varies upon your age group, too. So mine was like 1 or 2 less than the 18 to 24, 25-year-olds or something. I was 26 at the time. Yeah, so it all varies depending. But yeah, they didn't have to, I think they had to do like around 30 push-ups to get a 60%.
Yeah, and see, Dan Maynard, he's making a comment that he's not familiar with now. He says the difference is that Ron trained Air Force personnel. Houston was in the Army. Army is more physical, and that's not the case anymore. The Air Force is just as physical and has been over the last decade and a half probably as the Army or as the Navy. I wouldn't say the Marine Corps, but the bottom line is they have now pushed all of the services to a specific level. And you're right, they all have to meet minimum guidelines, or they get washed out or pushed back or whatever the case may be.
Usually recycled.
Yeah, recycled is what we called it.
So, yeah, I mean, but when it comes down to it, do you think that it's okay for, this is to Ron. Ron, do you think that, like, it would be cool for mixed units out in the field, like on the front lines?
I think if they do that, what they're going to end up having to do from a training standpoint all the way out to the front lines is figure out how they're going to train people who desire to be transgender. And it wouldn't surprise me for them to have a transgender flight, or platoon is what, is that what y'all call them, platoons?
Yeah, we have platoons.
Yeah. So in the Air Force, they're called flights of airmen. But it wouldn't surprise me for them to have a specific setup for transgenders. And now, because I can't imagine that the military allowing, male transgenders to house and train with the females and vice versa.
Yeah.
I just don't see that happening.
Yeah. I don't know how they would logistically let that happen. Like it just seems odd to me that they would cause that much of a problem in a military. Like the whole purpose of a military is to essentially stop something from happening, right?
Yes, the purpose of an army is to kill people and break things.
That is asking for a lawsuit.
Exactly. Like your whole entire job, the whole entire reason you exist is to make things difficult for other people.
Kill people and break things. That's what armies do.
Exactly. So I mean, like, and the reason that we were like one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world, is because our military is so well trained. Around like cohesive units and all this stuff, and now they're introducing concepts that will literally start breaking us apart. And I do not think, especially in this day and age, it is a good idea to introduce concepts into the military that will make us weaker. I don't think it's ever a good time for that.
Yeah. Well, things like sexism and racism
and social justice,
things like that, they're not, especially in basic training, they're just not there.
Yeah.
You don't go to basic training if you're a racist or a sexist or anything like that, because they will train it out of you.
For sure.
If you get there. And they'll do it in the first 24 hours.
For sure.
One thing it felt like half our training was the SHARP program.
Yeah.
Sexual harassment, assault.
Yeah. And it's I mean, seriously, they don't play games with it at all.
Does R stand for rape, sharp sexual harassment, and something training prevention?
And rape
I don't remember sharp training specifically, but we had a lot of that.
Yeah, well,
training.
essentially sexual harassment training for
Right.
it seemed like half of it was always like every other word was, hey, here's this number. If something happens, feel sexually assaulted or harassed.
That's why very few veterans, very few military members, you will never, you will, if you find a racist as a part of that group, it is 1 in a million. And that's just because when you're in the military, there is no such thing. You're all doing the same thing. You're all training for the same cause, right?
Yeah, we all have red blood flowing through our
And
for our
all
veins.
military training is probably a higher percentage mental than it is physical.
Yeah, and
break you down to build you up.
Yeah, exactly. Like because you're essentially having to be remade. You know, as a person, like you have to go in, unlearn things, and then relearn how to be a cohesive unit.
I used to search out on we called them rainbows when they first got there. People wearing all different kinds of clothes and not the green military. But when the recruit would show up, I used to search out the longest haired hippie surfer dude and go straight for him.
when you first said rainbow, of course, I first thought gay, and then I thought, okay, did you ever have to deal with?
No, we called them rainbows.
Just no matter what
when they got there, because they were all wearing different color clothing.
I see what you're saying. So everybody was a rainbow. Okay,
that's
I
right.
gotcha.
The very first day is when they go get their greens or their BDUs or whatever it's going to be.
Right.
But yeah, no, we call them rainbows, but or various other names. But no, it's
less politically correct and air friendly name.
Wow.
You just go for the people. I mean, your DIs did it too. They go straight for the ones that they feel are going to be the hardest to change or the weakest link.
See, that was the reason and I do regret not going to the military, but I always also thought, man, I'm going to get to, they're just not going to see things my way. They're just not going to, they're not going to align with my viewpoint here, and they're not going to see that I'm right. And
I sometimes regret not going into the military too. Like I came this close to joining the Marines at one point in time.
My mom wanted me to join the Navy. I have a friend who joined the Navy, went on to become a SEAL, told me about some of the training they went through out there on the pier.
Yeah. I mean, I have a recommendation for anyone who's even thinking about do it young.
Yes.
Like go while you're younger.
Yes.
Yeah.
It'll be easier for you because I mean you're going to be around a lot of people the same age. I don't know if you've ever been locked in a room with a bunch of 18 to 20-year-olds for 3 months. That's the stuff of nightmares.
Well, and you know what, Houston, I don't know how it is now because it's been a long time, but when I was a training instructor, a TI is what they call them in the Air Force, we trained people from the age of 17 with their parents' consent all the way up to the age of 35, which was the max for active duty at that time.
Yeah.
So we had people who were 20 years apart.
Yeah,
training in the same.
It's the same for us. I think the max for the Army was 33, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we actually had a few guys who were like right there at that.
But you can almost immediately see the maturity difference.
Yeah.
When people come in, because the kids who are just away from their mom and dad are the ones that are crying. The ones that are freaked out and scared, and the 30-year-olds are the ones that are like, "Shut the hell up and let's just get through this." Shut your mouth.
The sooner you start, the sooner you will finish.
That was me. I was definitely that guy. It's like, this is easy. Just shut up and do what he says.
Yeah. I think, because, I'm sorry. I would have been driven nuts, too. Absolutely nuts. Because, I mean, talking to an 18-year-old at the age of 35 is a nightmare now. You know, it's not that I don't like
unless she's hot,
and then it's dangerous,
right?
But I mean,
edgy.
Like having to be locked into a room with a bunch of kids who just like don't know how to follow orders and are just they're full of piss and vinegar, so they think that they're better than everybody else.
Right.
When you have to find common ground with someone who has to be told not to eat Tide Pods,
Now you're talking like the MeWe chat room. They're whining over there, by the way. I just Zig the Gator. I've become a huge Matlock fan in the last month. Okay, obviously Zig is back on the sauce, and a huge Matlock fan. Okay. Let's see. Madam Sue Jackhole, not sure where he went.
Laxon Jackson. Fort Jackson.
There you go. Both my degrees from Ohio State University. A little self-promotion. See, I'm looking. See what I'm doing over here in the MeWe chat room is looking for something that's pointed and interesting. Gotcha.
Oh, damn, Brad.
I love our team. What happened, Rocky?
Mississippi says that she has some really strong opinions about women in the military. She was in the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
Get her to call in.
Yeah, please call in. I would actually like to hear this from a woman's perspective, because I'm.
Why?
Brad's like, you wouldn't. It's not that he's sexist people. It's that he's
too
just,
easy.
He's just really nervous about talking.
It
to
was
girls.
just so that you throw softballs like that and don't expect someone not to hit them. Have you ever seen the gun box, Houston? The gun storage. It's a gun safe. It's called the gun box.
I have not.
It's really cool. You should. You've not shared with him the pictures?
You know what? That is my fault. I really should. So you can see the greatness that is the gun box.
I would share with him the one that we have in the studio, except we don't have one in the studio.
Hint, hint.
Yeah. Yeah, Matlock. The gun box it doesn't just look like a big old square gun safe. It looks like a piece of furniture. Hey, Ron, can you put my screen up on, and I will show you the. I'll show you the. You know what? I'll show you the tactical one. Look up there at that. Okay, that is for a. And I didn't even know this one existed from the gun box. It's the SK1 Tactical. So it looks to me
looks like a cell phone.
It looks like it's tall. Let me show you a. Look, that's it.
Okay.
Isn't that cool?
Oh, that is cool.
Nice. It looks like it looks like one of those stand on the floor air purifiers.
Yeah.
But the thing is really big. The SK1 Tactical, you can get obviously you can get 1, 2, 3, 4 guns in there, and more. And they
doesn't look like they're trying hard enough then.
If that's all that you have,
you only have 4 guns. Amateur.
This is for your bedside stand. This is the gun box. It looks like a piece of furniture. Oh, it went away.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're done showing you that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I didn't see anyone.
Right, exactly.
Now it's just the Morse brothers.
Yeah, it looks like a piece of furniture, and the gun box is like the coolest thing I've ever seen. And they've like driven over this thing with cars, and you can open it with your either a fingerprint or a keypad, or they have these little RFID rings, or you can put. I'm not going to tell you the other one because if anybody buys one of these, there's another way you can get into it that's like the ring, but it's not. That's really cool. Nice. If you go to gunbox.com, you'll be able to see that. It's the gunbox.com, and I've been talking about these for years.
I'm all for like any safes or anywhere I can squirrel away a gun in my house without people knowing.
Yeah.
Like the coffee. Was it? Which movie was it? It was Bruce Willis.
Death Wish.
Yes, Death Wish with a coffee table.
Oh, that was awesome.
Oh, that was bad to the bone. Thegunbox.com. Secure your gun the right way at the Gunbox. And coming up in just, 2 minutes, you're not going to believe what we do.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
High capacity, fully automatic, large caliber, freedom. MoJo 50.
It's April 15th, and in America, that means the taxman cometh for us all today. Well, at least for those of us who have waited until literally the final day to file their taxes. Speaking of which, do any of you find it funny that we have to file taxes at all? I mean, what was taken from my paycheck every single time then? But there's a great article in the Federalist about some other fact sets around tax day, so I thought that we should go down that road too. First off, did you know that up until 1913, there was no federal income tax at all? As for paying those taxes, it was done in the following year in quarterly installments. That changed in 1943 as government spending for World War II ballooned, and there was an immediate need for tax revenue. Ever since then, the tax code has grown at an insane rate, and it's now up to over 2,650 pages, despite some Republicans claiming it to be over 70,000. That number is actually a reference to the CCH Standard Federal Tax Reporter, which includes IRS rulings, court cases, and relevant legal information. For a lot of Americans, April 15th is actually a good day, with 44% ending up paying nothing in federal taxes, and the bottom 20% actually receiving money from the federal government thanks to refundable tax credits. Where does the tax money go? Well, for the bottom 44%, what does it matter? Why should you care how the money is spent if you aren't putting any of your money into the mix to begin with? As for the rest of us, according to 2017 taxes, 24% is spent on Social Security and 26% on the 4 federally funded medical programs. And yes, that adds up to 50% of the budget spent on entitlements. The next biggest spend is on defense, which comes in at 15% of the budget, if you can even call what Congress does today a budget. There are plenty more interesting tax facts, and we'll spend this week going through all of those as well. I'm Andrew Coppins, and this has been By the Numbers. You can follow me on all the socials at The Coppins Show.
By the Numbers with Andrew Coppins is powered by TarRiverArms.com. They've revolutionized online firearm sales with high-resolution pictures, 3D imaging, and the best prices. How much will you save? Find out at TarRiverArms.com. That's TarRiverArms.com.
The Daily Mojo.
And another sign that we are close to the end. This, who was it sent me this morning? I can't remember. Somebody on Twitter, Chick-fil-A is anti-gay protesters ride the Cincinnati Cyclone Zamboni.
What?
Yes.
One more again? Gesundheit.
So this was it was at the Cincinnati Cyclones game Saturday night, U.S. Bank Arena, where I guess you can either buy your way onto the Zamboni, I guess. It was a group of them that decided, I guess, they were going to get out there and buy the Zamboni thing, or the Chick-fil-A Zamboni Cam. I guess you can ride on this thing. It's sponsored by Chick-fil-A. So all of the people who got on it on Saturday night were protesters carrying Chick-fil-A is anti-gay signs.
Seriously?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Go to a hockey game.
Yeah.
I'm so. This is ridiculous now, man. Look, Chick-fil-A does not discriminate. Just because their owners are Christians and believe in Christian marriage, and they're not on board themselves with homosexuality, it does not mean that they hate gay people. In fact, they've been very clear about the fact that they don't hate gay people. They hire gay people at their locations to work. They do not discriminate. But just because somebody has a personal opinion that differs from the social justice cause libre doesn't mean that they're willing to hang gays from trees in the streets.
Yeah, the hockey team in the midst of the playoff series threatened 7 people with criminal trespassing if they ever return. This, according to spokesman Everett Fitzhugh. The signs will now be banned on the Fan Zamboni from now on.
Good
for them.
So they've now, so if you were ever planning to ride the Fan Zam at the with the Cincinnati Cyclones, you can't do it. Moving forward, we've adopted a no signage policy on the Fan Zam. So somebody peed in the pool, everybody's got to get out. And we'll be monitoring all riders to make sure something like this doesn't happen again. Cyclones were hosting the Kalamazoo Wings in Game 2.
Are pools full of anything but pee?
Is it what?
Is our pools full of anything but pee? I thought that's what public pools were.
It's pretty much like 75% urine. Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? I mean,
urine and chlorine.
Yeah. What does it hurt? Although there was a time a few years back that they made this chemical you could put in your pool
that would turn it blue.
Blue or red. One of the two. It's
still have yet to find that.
Yeah. Apparently they had that going in what was it called, that movie Grown Ups?
Yeah.
Which was a really great But I'm sorry. The whole entire thing behind Chick-fil-A is
they snuck the signs
stupid
on board the Fan Zam.
Oh my God!
During the game's intermission.
Why?
I don't know. Do these people think that they're going to convince?
Yes.
Well, if I'm not eating their chicken then.
This is the way it is, with protesters, period, about anything that they do that's wild. I do not understand. I will never understand the idea behind nude protesting.
If they're hot, whatever they're for, I agree.
Yeah, they never are. It's not like I have porn actresses going out there protesting naked. If they were, I wouldn't stop them.
They're like, right? Sebastian, you and I should go out. She's like a overweight social justice warrior.
I believe in all natural, non-shaving.
But it doesn't even have to be I believe in all natural this and that. They couldn't be. It's not just about being a hippie or something like that.
Sasquatch walking down the street.
Exactly. You want the blurry picture of that. But no, someone's like, climate change is happening. What should we do? You know what we should do is we should get naked and protest down the street.
Right.
Why? What's that going to change? What was Amy Schumer was trying to lead some kind of thing where she got naked. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, that Amy Schumer.
She got naked. I think it was over gun control or something like that. She was like, I believe that everyone should be safe. And so if you'll notice, I've taken off my bottoms.
If anything, that's a reason to buy a gun.
I'm because I need to shoot myself now because that. But why?
Well, Mississippi is on the line. Okay, so did you go? I can't remember what Ron said.
Saying Navy.
So you were in the Navy?
Yes, I was in the Navy. 20 years.
20 years. All right. So
thank you for your service.
Help me out, because I am struggling with this, and I don't want to insult women or anything, but I feel like there is a marked difference. Yeah, probably too late. There's a marked difference between men and women physically, and I do feel like that there should be certain jobs that men should be used for and women should be used for. Is that wrong?
No, I absolutely agree, because after 20 years of service, I could say this now as a hypocrite, but it had wreaked havoc on my body as a whole. Ding ding.
I got your back.
Wow, good,
Thanks,
good
Brad.
call, Melissa.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for your service, Brad. All those years of woodworking, and that really helped me a lot with building picnic tables. And
there you go,
Dr. Wood.
That's...
But no, I've seen a lot in the military, and I have a totally different opinion now. And it's easy to say now that I'm out, but the standards are way lower for women than they are men physically. I also believe that women should have the same haircut standards as men, because now they even loosened the regulations. Now women in the Navy can have ponytails. I mean, how is that safe? You have gas masks and all of the other equipment. And I was on a ship for almost 10 years, and the rest of my years, the last 10, I was Master at Arms canine handler. And even that, like women police, I don't understand. Just wearing the extra 20 pounds of a belt, with your gun, your cuffs, wreaks havoc on your body. And I mean, I'm sure it does for men, but we're smaller. We're naturally smaller, and combat mindset is different for women also, because we're not going to take it the same. When I left the military, I became a small arms instructor because I know women learn differently too. And I think that's, I hate to say it, women do have a place in the military, but it's not combat, and it's not police work, fireman work, and I am going to catch a lot of grief for this, but they do really well at the desk jobs and being nurses.
How dare you?
But wouldn't you agree, though, that if a woman is capable of the standards, if she can do the same things that they had set for the man to do, if she can carry the 250-pound guy on her back, if she's an accurate marksman, don't you think that they should be allowed to do? They should be allowed in battle?
Well, they should, but it shouldn't be men or women. If they want to do that, that's fine. Know full well that it's still going to wreak havoc on your body.
Right.
When I was
Melissa?
Mac, because her name was Mac, and in the berthing, she would wear men's underwear, and her uniform, like her hips were different. She wasn't extremely large, but she was very substantial. And she was part of the onboard firefighting team, and she was really good. And her other job was a welder. And I know women are really proficient at welding. I guess they have more patience or something. But yeah, somebody like her. But it's like, who was it? Houston or Brandon said it's not the norm. It's not across the board.
Yeah, and that to me is just, I feel like that should be common sense, but it might be common sense, and that's why people are so angry about it. Anybody saying anything like this, it's because they're trying to push a narrative, and if you differ from that narrative at all, they will come down on you like thunder. And so we know that this is the truth, but we have to fight against it so hardcore in order to push this narrative. What the sad thing is I think, I'm listening to you talk about how it plays hell on your body later on down the line, and I'm thinking, men have a denser bone structure. We have a denser muscle structure. We can tolerate a lot more physical abuse than women do. And I feel like one of the things that has not been discussed very often is the long-term effects of what all of this physical exertion does on a woman's body. We know that,
it's bad enough on men's bodies alone. I mean, our father was a police officer, and he had to carry around the belt and everything for 20 years. Yeah. Even now he's like, it sucks. My back hurts.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and here's another really strong. Here's a really strong observation, and I'm probably going to catch a lot of hell for this. But we talk about you were talking about different genders, transgenders, but sexual assault is rampant in the military. No matter, and it hasn't gone down, ding ding. I joined in '93, and I want to say it's the same way. but that's also, you have to think of men in, you put men in situations where your testosterone is running high because it's supposed to. And then you get a lot of these little girls, flirting. Like a lot of us, if you're in close quarters and, the men, you become almost like family.
Sure.
And then you get the little flirty opportunities every once in a while, and you got this guy. And I'm not saying it's right. Don't get me wrong. It is absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
But it's the situation. You're all hopped up on testosterone, and you got this, girl flirting with you. It may be harmless, but that's, yes, it is absolutely wrong, and there should be no place for sexual assault in the military.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
That's what happens when men and women are working in close quarters in high-stress times.
Yeah, it's biological. I mean,
yeah, because you got to think it's not just because you're probably in one of the best physical shapes of your life, and everyone's looking pretty good right now, and you can't help but flirt a little bit or find somebody else attractive. It's the exact same thing that I imagine it's just like being at because sexual intercourse is rampant in I've
heard it's rampant in families.
In Alabama. At the what is it during the Olympics? What do they call those? Like the competitors' villages
the
or
dorms?
stuff like this. Yeah, where and just constantly they're just doing each other.
Constant hookups.
Yeah. So
You've
never heard that?
Oh, at the Olympics?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've heard that.
Yeah,
between competitors, it is
Yeah.
just a bang-a-thon.
Yeah, yeah. And so because again, you're in a situation where you're in a room with a bunch of very fit, very good-looking people. You're interacting with them constantly. You're seeing them in tight uniforms and all this stuff, and it looks, But I just imagine that in the military, it's like you said, the testosterone is actually much higher in this case. Because you're doing stuff that is, to be honest with you, pretty manly.
Yes, I was part of the first female crew on an aircraft carrier in the 90s. And when women become pregnant, especially underway or in overseas or whatever, but when you're on a ship and you become pregnant, you get flown back to the States. And my ship was out of Norfolk, Virginia. And they had to open up an extra wing in the transient personnel unit because so many women were flying back pregnant after being on an aircraft carrier. Yes. It was at least 60, at least.
Don't think it's not rampant in basic training or in the military. Yeah, don't think it's not rampant.
Wow. 60?
Yeah, any
That's pretty amazing.
Yes, and how does that affect their mission readiness?
Exactly, because you're one more person down.
Yeah, if you put them all together in infantry and put them all on the front lines, there's going to be a lot of pregnancies, a lot of being shipped back, and you are going to be down a lot of manstrength.
I didn't know it was that bad.
Oh, there's a lot of banging.
No, I realized. I probably guess there was a lot of banging, but I didn't realize that 60 women had to go home because they got pregnant.
Well, birth control does not work that well.
Some of them do it on purpose.
Oh, you
Some of them do it on purpose because they decide they don't want to be on deployment anymore. So easy way out. I could get pregnant, get off the ship, go home, have an abortion.
Oh.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And there you have it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for your insight, and thank you for taking the arrows that you'll be taking soon.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
That was brave of you.
We've got your back.
Shields up. I have my gun.
There you go. All right. Talk soon. Bye-bye. All right. Who else is on the phone? Is Lori D.
Oh, Lori D.
Yeah,
you got some explaining to do.
This ought to be interesting.
You have some explaining to do.
Hopefully it'll be interesting this time.
You better tell me right now, Lori D, right now, why you have never watched Game of Thrones.
Oh, this is
I refuse to give HBO another dime.
Why?
Oh my gosh, the amount of really can't stand, and the politics of them. It's one more thing that I can't afford to support.
Do you not have what are known as friends with a subscription? You can go over to their house.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Also, pirating.
Yes,
pirating,
there's stealing.
Online is totally an option.
Yeah, not up here. Not up here. I don't. I'm pretty sequestered up here. Anyway, no, I'm calling to get Melissa Sippy back, and I'll even go one further. I don't think women should be in the military at all.
Like period.
Period. Amen.
In any capacity.
In any capacity. My husband is a lieutenant colonel. He's been in since 1998, and he did his company command. He commanded a maintenance company of 220 co-ed soldiers, and or integrated soldiers, and they deployed to Afghanistan in 2006. And in the year that he was gone, and in the 22 months that he was in command, he had to kick out 15 women for getting pregnant, send 7 of them home while they were pregnant overseas. The amount of divorces, the amount of Article 15s he had to do while he was downrange because of GO Order Number 1 getting broken. He caught soldiers having sex in a water buffalo. Brandon's brother will know what a water.
Hold on, stop, everybody. Yeah. He what?
No.
What? He had sex with a water buffalo?
No, he has
in a water buffalo. It's a large giant water container.
Yeah. Thank you for clearing that up.
What
for those of us who are only half listening to you, I just wanted to make sure we understood what that was.
Because I didn't know what a water buffalo was. And I was like, wait, did they hollow out a water buffalo?
I'm married. I understand that.
Yeah, it's a giant water tank they pull around a trailer that they used to.
Okay, so they crawled in there and ended up doing it. Okay.
And just the general crap that you have to put up with. Soldiers, I'm very proud of our military, but soldiers are just like civilians. They get horny, they get stupid, they get drunk, they get in trouble. And when that happens in the military, their boss has to actually start a legal proceeding. So, Brad, if Beth were to go out and get a DUI today, you're not in charge of paying for all of her legal costs. Well, you kind of are. That was a bad example, but anyway. But
okay.
But when one of my husband's soldiers would go out and get in trouble over the weekend, he would have to spend so much time writing up an Article 15 and talking to the commanders, and it takes over time. It takes time away from training, time from everything else that soldiers should be doing, and it's all because
management
men and women. Men and women, they like to be around each other. So It doesn't matter if you're wearing a uniform or you're wearing nothing.
All right, but
animal nature.
But to that argument, if men and women shouldn't serve together, what about gay individuals on either side of the fence? A gay man, for instance, is sexually attracted to obviously another man. So how you still got that same problem?
Well, I'm not that smart, so I'm not going to get into that.
I just thought I'd throw that out there because I just like to throw things out there. All right, go have another drink, Lori. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Lori.
Hey!
Oh, sorry, I'm lost. We lost the call there. It's a horrible connection. All of a sudden, it just dropped offline.
But that's a really interesting take. And the points that Lori brings up are like really interesting and important.
Which is fascinating in itself that she can put those thoughts together.
But no, I mean, like the one thing that also we have to think about is the fact that men and women are at the very base, attracted to each other.
Jeez, you just ruined everything.
Excuse me, sir. Can you put your phone on silent?
Ringing in the studio. You just ruined. Yeah. We're gonna have to
start the show.
Go back to the beginning of the show.
All over.
Yeah. Slug with No Name says, I haven't watched an episode. I haven't watched Game of Thrones either. I haven't owned a TV in a decade. Don't miss it either.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. For the most times, I don't think there is much of anything to watch on network TV.
You know what's funny?
I can't think of. Is there any show that I watched?
Not at the moment.
No,
not at the moment.
No, there really isn't one thing on broadcast television that I can think that would be.
Everything I watch now is like a Netflix original.
Yeah.
Or
stream it
like on Stars or HBO or Amazon.
Now, if you're saying that, it's better to read books, I agree with that. I mean, I think that you can, I used to read a lot more than I do, but for whatever reason, I was able to sit still a lot longer than I can now. I can't do it. I think I'm moving so much all the time that when I'm not moving, reading takes effort to me.
Yeah.
This is making sense. And it's easier for me to sit on the couch and watch the pretty pictures go by. And a lot of these things are so well crafted. A lot of these shows are so well crafted. Not the ones on network TV necessarily, but they're entertaining to watch. And
I 100% think that I like the idea of me being able to pause a show and then come back to it later because especially nowadays, I have other things that I want to do sometimes.
Also, you can't binge watch on network TV.
No, you can't.
No, you can't.
Nope.
Netflix, Amazon, I one after the other, and it's a bad problem.
And I'll let it. And sometimes I'll be doing other stuff, and I'll just let it play. Like Billions, I've been doing that. I'll just let it play, and I'll walk in and go, huh. And then, so if I want to go back and rewatch that episode because I'm not catching all of it, I'll do that.
You know what's funny? I got super excited about the fact that I was building a table the other day, and that I could just put like a show that I wanted to see in the background while it was playing, and I really liked doing that. Like having something to do while something is playing in the background that I don't have to pay attention to it if I want to, because I know I can just go back. I don't feel like I have to fully invest in it. And you know, so it allows me to work while other things are happening.
Rick Ocasek of the Cars, he called it moving wallpaper. I used to have a television in every room because I would go into the and just something is moving, just something is happening in the room, and it was, I don't know, ADD, whatever you want to call it. I just liked having something happening in every room. And it's some of the stuff on even on pay TV, some of the stuff is really.
You had a very high electric bill, didn't you?
Well, televisions are very efficient now.
But I will say this though, I kind of thought it was a lot easier back in like, because you only had like Netflix, and then Amazon came. And then Hulu, and those are the big three. Those are like the equivalent today of like ABC, NBC, and Fox.
You were about to say it's easier. How?
Well, because like it's the same problem you have with cable. Back in the day, there were 3 channels. You know, NBC, ABC, and CBS.
Right.
Right. And people had the shows that they loved to tune in and watch. You know, the variety hours and all that stuff. Now we have cable.
Loved that Ed Sullivan guy.
And cable. Now with cable, people were complaining. You know, I have all these channels and nothing to watch.
57 channels and there's nothing on.
Exactly. And now it's going to be the exact same. You had Netflix, you had Hulu, you had Amazon.
Well, no, there's always Cops. Cops is always
Cops is always the filler.
Cops is always on.
That's what G4 survived on for a long time before it went under.
And Live PD.
Oh, Live PD,
which is even better than Cops.
Really?
Yeah, Live PD is better.
Oh, have you not seen Live PD?
No, I've watched it. I just didn't find it better. Like I enjoyed.
It is on the right night. It is if they get a good director who knows how to go. Yeah, there's nothing happening there. Let's go over to Minneapolis where Bob is about to get out of the car, and Bob's running.
Yeah, see, I like Cops just because it was the highlights. Like it was the exciting stuff. Like that's all I needed. Like now they're like, oh well, we're gonna go to this guy here who's not doing much. Let's go over this one over here.
Yeah.
But it has the potential to be good, which is probably why it's smarter just to watch it after they've put the best of online.
Now I feel like they're coming out with all these different streaming platforms, and they all have different programming. And it's
Disney.
like now it's like Disney's having their own. Then you've got
slowly taking over the world.
What is it, Crunch or something like that? And then you have all the I can't remember. There's so many now.
Disney's going to have Star Wars, so they've got a built-in base audience right there.
Oh, for sure.
What's
they're
it called?
losing fast though, unfortunately.
Well,
that's their own fault.
What's the new one called? Mandalorians.
Yeah,
and that's going to be on the Disney pay platform with the Viper. The Viper is in that one.
Oh, really? Oh, I love that guy so much.
But
I will say, now we're going to get to a point where there's so many streaming platforms. It's going to cost just as much as it used to cost to have cable. And it's going to be one of those situations where it's like I have all these streaming platforms with all these selections, and I cannot decide what I want to watch.
Right. I actually need to bring mine down right now. I think I've got too many.
Yeah, I think that,
the first step to admitting you have a problem is admitting you have a problem.
Yeah. I'm afraid it's probably going to be Hulu.
Hulu to me, Hulu's like the I was about to say the ugly redheaded stepsister.
But the funny part is that I find myself watching Hulu probably more than I do others lately, because I'll deal with the commercials. I don't care. But I mean, like the stuff that they have on there is stuff that I specifically like. I like the fact that they've got South Park. I like the fact that they've got Magnificent Six. I like the fact that they invest in movies like Death Wish. Like that's the kind of movies that they put on their platform. But while Netflix is putting on stuff that I feel like is
live action remix.
Yeah. But I mean, like, also, have you noticed that Netflix plays it politically safer?
Would you watch a show sponsored by cat coolers?
I would watch a show specifically so I could see the cat cooler commercials.
Maybe a show
about a cat that's a cooler?
About a cat, cooler.
Oh,
cat.
have you never heard of cat coolers, Houston? Allow Brad to tell you about.
Oh, I was going to suggest that you tell him all about it.
Oh, you want me to tell him?
Tell him
Somebody's
all about
got to tell me though, because you can't lead on with this.
So I'm sorry, we're out of time.
So Houston, yeah. No. What do you mean it's last call? No. So cat coolers. If you like Arctic coolers or Yeti coolers, imagine that, but better.
But better.
Yes, because a cat cooler, not only will it do what every other cooler can do, it's tougher. It looks better.
Is it cooler?
It is way cooler.
It's way cooler.
It's cooler.
They have the blue collar cooler that gets blue when you put ice in and it's cold.
Not the blue collar cooler.
Yes, the blue collar cooler.
And it's customizable. You can get it in you can get it in various colors.
Yeah.
All right. And right now, if you enter promo code Brandon, you will get 10% off your cat cooler.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you could attach a cat cooler to a rope, swing it, hit a wall, and the wall will collapse.
Yeah,
not the cooler.
that's true.
That's how tough these coolers are.
And Brandon will come over and give you a foot rub.
I will do that.
Cat cooler.
Yeah, it's the coolest of the cat coolers. It's pretty chill.
See? I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Very nice.
You're
very
very
nice.
welcome.
I wonder if Ron is going to be able to hit the end of the show.
What do you mean it's last call?
Yeah, that one.
What do you mean it's last call?
That is it, ladies and gentlemen, the end of Doc Thompson's Daily Mojo. But before we go, as always, let's find out what we learned today. We learned that end times are near. Cher is making sense.
What?
You missed that in the first hour.
No, I saw
Cher,
it.
her tweet.
I saw it.
nothing.
She's mad about the illegal.
Yeah, about it. We can't take care of them in L.A. We can't take care of our own people. Cher is making sense.
Cher is about to make America great again,
Yeah.
folks.
We learned that Dallas is taking the first step in creating the new purge.
What?
The $750, and they're not going to prosecute on crime. $750.
Really?
Yes.
That's all I have to do is
theft.
just come up with $750 and
No.
free?
If you steal $750 worth of stuff, they're not going to prosecute.
Neat. Okay,
Yeah.
then I know my limit now.
$749.
Yes.
And 99 cents.
Thank you.
Scot-free.
Yes.
If I just need to walk into a gas station at some point in time, grab a Snickers, and be like,
Welcome-
hey, you
So
can't
wait.
prosecute, see you later.
Welcome
So
to Dallas
my
County.
question is it in total or is it like individual?
That's what everybody's question is.
Like, can I just hit multiple
that's-
places for $649?
That is the brilliance of apparently our district attorney in Dallas County. Go Dallas!
Yay!
What'd you learn, Brandon?
I learned that having sex with your aunt is okay so long as your dragon watches.
King of the North.
Right.
King of the North.
Is that your dragon watching us? Yeah.
She did kind of give off that I like it when they watch vibe.
Yes, she did.
She really did.
Well, on Game of Thrones, though, that's not unusual. I mean, good grief. They're crushing people's heads and everything else.
Exactly.
Why not?
Did anyone else get the feeling that the dragon liked watching?
I think he did like watching. Houston, did you learn anything today?
No.
You kind of sound like our viewers.
Very nice.
I'm the people's man.
I'm the people's man. He's the everyman.
Yeah, I am
representing everyone within the group chat.
I am John Everyman.
Let's see. What did Larky Farkin say of YouTube TV? They're increasing their prices per month, but they're starting to add new channels. No, I'm just always pissed.
In their entire website, free channels?
Yeah, but now they do that thing where you can't, YouTube, if you put it on in your car, like if you've got it on your phone and through Bluetooth, if you shut the screen off, boop, YouTube goes away.
So you have to pay for that.
Yes, that's their YouTube Red. That's how they're trying to hold you hostage to getting to people to pay for YouTube Red.
So
Ta-da.
I refuse. I'll just put my phone on the seat and just leave it there.
There you go. See, there's always a way around.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also
thinking
learned today, by the way, and this comes from complaints by the viewers. I'm sorry I don't check my DMs more. I will start doing so I can see your amazing suggestions for my headline segment. And you guys can know the answer beforehand and ruin all the fun. Today's bell count, or according to Leprechaun 420, the bell count for today, 30 missed innuendo bells, 21 actual bells, and 3 horns.
There's your horns.
6 horns.
We'll get those
He
new.
likes squeezing his own horn.
It's especially when dragons watch. We will get to those new numbers on procrastination as soon as Doc Thompson returns from his vacation. Although we did have to clean out his car. Your daily, which by the way, you haven't seen any of that. The car. I'll show it to you.
Okay.
And we're going to edit it and put it online, so you'll see it too. Boy, was that a job. Your Daily Mojo is today. Ron Phillips production. Wherever you go, whatever you do, live by the 5 rules, and you'll have a shot at being right and being happy. And Houston, thank you for being here.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Good night, Doc Thompson.
Wherever you are.
See ya.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason.